Ooh la la, want your bad romance. I want your disease. I want your everything as long as it's free. I want your love. Love, love, love. I want your love. I want your love. Hey, hey.
What's happening, pals, new and old? I'm your host, Parker Reil, and this is another very special episode of the PALS Podcast.
Woo! Yeah,
the delayed reaction. I love it.
I
don't know if I can do my...
Yippee-ki-yay, we're back. Isn't that right? Oh, it's time. You ready?
Yeah, brother.
Gotta pop these open. Get right in front of them. It's the
My
trick.
fingernails kind of hurt. Wait, I've been
1,
biting them.
2, 3. Whoa! It's okay.
Whoa, big Chungus.
This thing just exploded.
The big Chungus.
It's
You
in
just
your-
shit
it's
the
in
bed
your
on
bangs.
that
It's in
hard.
my bangs.
It's
Let me move my
everywhere,
bang.
Maria. I've never seen a La Croix just pop out of someone's hands like that. Did you
You've
shake
never seen
it?
me handle
Only
a
a big
LaCroix.
Chungus.
Only big Chungus handle La Croix, said way. You touch my Chungus, you better expect more.
You touch my Chungus, you better be ready for
I just really
the
don't know if
big-
we want the Chungus thing to be your brand.
Well, listen, we have all sorts of brands here. Jesus! You did it again!
Oh, no, Maria, no!
Why did you pour the LaCroix on the
That's good,
microphone?
bro.
It's supposed to go in your cup.
This is my real
Don't
to be
cry over
a
spilled LaCroix.
cartoon voice actor.
Oh,
Actually, right
okay.
now.
So what you're telling me is that here at the Pals Podcast, we can do a whole episode dedicated to
Two
like
different voices.
like a voice
Oh,
drill.
yeah, I would love to do that.
Oh my God! What are you doing?
Thank you.
Are you gonna try and soak it up with that?
That's
just
a piece of paper, Maria.
Use your sleeve. It's just water.
Lick
What
it.
are you
It's
doing?
water.
Lick the table.
Don't wipe
Do
it up with the
not lick
mic.
the table.
Don't wipe
Lick
it up
the
with the mic.
table.
That's the person who built this table. Do not lick the table. It was like on the ground and
ASMR.
shit.
ASMR. Lick the table.
So speaking of the person that has caused so much damage to this room, in the
It's been
first
30 seconds in the
30
episode.
seconds, to my right is the one and only Maria Smal, everybody.
Yeah, baby. 1L.
For your first one L, I have to clarify. For the first time on the show.
The first time,
And
baby.
probably the last based upon the way you've treated the set.
We'll let the people decide.
Great, great. So, Maria, I wrote down, because I like to write little intros, I labeled you as a close friend of mine that for the past 2 to 3 months.
Yes.
Such
This is fact.
Such a short
Yes.
friendship. But, you know,
It be that way.
you made it here anyway.
L'chaim.
L'chaim! Yes. So, Maria, you have things to pimp on this show? What are you pimping today?
I have a couple things to pimp, Parker. Thank you for that.
Of course, yeah, get ready.
You've probably seen me on Twitter.
Have I?
At Maria Smal _. I just kind of, shit post.
It's kind of
It's my
poppin'.
brand. It is kind of popping. And my Instagram is at Maria _Smal because
Oh,
Maria
different?
Smal was taken.
Those
I
bitches.
harassed her and then she blocked me. So
Are you serious?
Well, okay. I just had been DMing her for a couple years being polite.
Jesus.
But I think she got mad at me, and
Well,
so now I
yeah.
can't find her.
Because she totally
and I emailed
blocked you.
Instagram many times. I don't think I'm important enough
Does
for
she not
them
post
yet.
on that account?
No, it had been inactive, and
What
so I
a
was
fucking
like,
bitch.
Does
Yeah.
she ever respond to you?
no. She literally blocked me. So until I'm an important person, I don't think I can get my desired
But
username.
they'll do that though. Like once you they did that with Ninja.
Oh, yeah, true.
And his Fortnite, his actual gamer thing, and
Yes.
also all his social media stuff. It got to a point where they were they kicked the other person.
Yeah, we got to
off
give this.
their account to give them
Tyler Blevins, man, we got to give him this account.
Yeah.
Starting a GoFundMe to kick out at Maria Smal.
Well, here's what.
Fuck you at Maria
this
Small.
Everyone go harass her.
Maria Small, hopefully, this show will just lift you to stardom and
Then
Let's
you
get 'em out
go
here.
get your Instagram. Then the next time you plug it, it'll be at Maria Small.
_.
No.
Wait, right? I don't
No,
know.
that's not what we're
No
talking
underscore.
Oh.
We just want Maria Smal, no underscore.
about. Like
Duh.
how mine is Mitchell, Kennard, Francis.
Yeah.
Just
Like the bourgeoisie.
yeah.
To my left, everybody.
What a smooth transition.
I do what I can. She's been begging for this show. She's been wanting to come on. You have center
been.
stage meeting the other night.
You're making me sound like
No,
I
it's-
paid you to make
No.
me
Let
be
me just
on this
let me tell you,
podcast.
and I appreciate that because it's the people who want to be on this show that I'm like, okay, let's get them on. Let's get
That we
these cats
take-
on.
What episode is this?
Seven.
Seven
This is
episodes
episode
to
7.
get
I
me
think.
on.
Hopefully, we'll see what
As your
happens.
content strategist, I can confirm that this is episode 7.
So, Taylor, you and I
Yeah.
have been friends starting last year, starting in the end of last year.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
And do you remember the first time I stayed at your apartment was this
Oh,
summer, and it was the first time you and I like really got to hang out.
Is that the night where you let me look through your Tinder?
Oh my God, we played the Tinder game. Yes. And you remember Mitchell came in the room and he was like, "This was a bad decision because you and I we're a tag team."
Because we get along
I remember
Yes,
this
really
moment.
well. Yeah.
He
yeah.
and he just
And
knew.
he took us to McDonald's.
Oh my God, yes! I got orange juice. It was great.
He's having war flashbacks
He's like
over here.
Vietnam fight. Man down.
He's like, when is this episode gonna end?
And straight across the table from me.
Yeah.
I didn't get to plug anything.
Oh my
God.
God, Christ! I'm so
First
sorry.
you make fun of me by wanting to be on the podcast, and now you just
No,
skip over me.
I'm not making fun of you. I think that's a great thing. It's not something to make fun of. Go ahead, pimp your stuff.
Hello, everybody.
I'm Taylor Winks.
My name is Taylor Winks. I also, for my Instagram and
Go ahead.
I think I was crunching ice earlier.
Yeah, you were.
I also, for my Instagram and Twitter, are Taylor Winks _. It used to be Pale Seduction.
It
Actually.
was.
That
I
used
liked
to
that.
Be, and Mitchell was like, "That's not a good thing.
I
You
kinda
need to
miss it
change
some
this."
days.
Very bad. I literally,
Me
I
too.
remember when you first followed me on Twitter, and I was like, "Who the fuck is Pale Suggest?" Oh,
it's Taylor.
my God, it's Taylor.
It's that girl I'm with.
But I've only been dating her for like a week. I can't tell her that her social media handle sucks.
I liked it. It's
So
like
you waited for months before you told her that it was bad.
correct.
It's
Got
not.
it.
It's not like it was bad. It's just like
It's
your
not
guys'
good
your
for
brand
who I
is
am.
your
Yeah.
social media presence,
Hey.
and it's like
If
that's why you want Maria Small.
Well,
Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
But,
Am I wrong?
But Natalie Dyer from Stranger Things,
love
her
her.
Instagram is Natty Ice Official, and that's hilarious.
But that's not
was good.
Pale Seduction. That doesn't
Okay.
even involve her
Okay.
name. Would you
Listen.
know that Pale Seduction is Taylor Winks if
Listen.
you didn't like?
Yeah, she's pale and she's seducing me, so
Well, I
And
know what
across the
that's. I
table-
know what that's like.
Wait, I need to talk about Center Stage.
I was going to talk about it later, and then we can talk about it.
Can I pimp anything?
You just pimped your
You
Instagram.
just pimped your Instagram.
Oh, I thought we talked about like what we're working on. That's what
I was
pimp
going to let
is.
you talk about that in here.
I also
You're going to
wanted-
get your chance.
I also want to talk about that I post poetry on my Instagram.
All right, let's talk about it. Go ahead, Taylor. I'm
Um,
sorry. I didn't know you had this much. I was like, I'm just trying to keep this shit moving, bro.
It's something new that I'm trying out, and I also will be implementing fitness stuff onto my Instagram, so look out for that.
Okay, so let's talk
That's
about
all.
this poetry thing. How long has this been going on? Fairly new, right?
Yeah, ever since I met Mitchell.
Oh, that's so cute.
I convinced her to start doing this
Good.
because she's a good poet.
You've already posted several, haven't you?
on my Finsta.
Oh, it's coming to the real one though. Get ready, ladies and gents.
Sinsta.
Because I am
continue.
I am
Agree,
privy.
Sinsta.
Thank you, Mitchell.
I am privy enough to have access to said Finsta.
Yes.
And I appreciated your poetry very much.
Thank you. I mostly got into it because I'm not very good with my words a lot of times. And over the summer, Mitchell, he lives in Omaha. And
Correct.
I'm originally from Houston, Texas. So, whoa, whoa.
I just spilled. God damn it.
Stop talking to me.
I watched.
I thought you were guys
half
bigger
of it.
Chungus.
I watched Bigger Chungus pour half of it into
like
Is
his
this about
glass,
my weight?
half of it into his glass, and then half of it on the table.
God, everybody wants to interrupt me when I'm talking.
Sorry, dear.
about-
Sorry, dear. Go ahead.
So over the summer, we were over 1,300 miles apart, I think.
Big Chungus distance.
Big Chungus.
Chungus distance. And so, obviously, we would talk to each other every day, but he came up with the idea of writing letters to each other, which is really sweet.
You
And
do have a soul, and it really makes me happy.
he's so sweet. We'll get to that.
Oh, wait. That's a whole other episode.
I
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But I wrote him poetry.
Yeah.
And some of the letters that I would send him.
It was really good. Really good.
Because a lot of times it's hard for me to talk, so I'm better at writing down my feelings. And so I would kind of make it into poetry.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And it's not
It's
like
good
rhyming
poetry too.
poetry.
No, it's free. It's free
It's
verse.
very
yeah.
much like free verse.
God, relationships, they must be nice.
Okay, now I'm done plugging myself.
No, it's okay. And across the table, you've begged, you've asked, You've clamored for him. He has returned. Mitchell Francis, everybody. I'm the only one clapping, and you. These girls are like, no, you don't deserve this. Buddy, it's good to have you back. When was the last time you were here? 3?
Yes. Whatever episode we talked about semester goals.
Yeah, that was it. That was 3.
I would think that was 3. Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I've been itching for your buns to be back here.
No, and I'm back in
fashion
in a high quality fashion.
So let's talk about this high quality fashion, which we recently decided upon about an hour and a half ago.
That's factual.
Would you like to tell the other pals what you're doing for pals now?
So as of an hour ago, as Parker stated, I am the head content strategist here at PALS.
Let's get a big round of applause for that.
So all the Instagram stories you've been seeing, all the photos and things and different snippets that you'll maybe hear throughout the week as
hopefully
future episodes get recorded. I will be manning all that and scheduling all that and getting all that going. So I'm excited.
Not only are you excited, I am very
Parker's excited.
Because listen, there's a lot to do around here with this. And I'm so bad at social media anyway, and having someone who cares about it as much as you do, I'm so excited to have
Social
you.
media is very important in my life.
Yes.
He's changed my social media game.
He gives me tips and tricks every once in a while, and I'm like, damn, that's good.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you just want to do this for me?
I take a high amount of pride in my social media
Amen.
presence. Speaking of which, by the way, you can follow me on
There we go.
Instagram at Mitchell Kennard Francis
There it
and on
is.
Twitter at Mitch K Francis because I couldn't do Mitchell K Francis on Twitter because it's one character short. Fun fact. It's available, but it's one character. Like it's Mitchell K Francie, like Franci.
You can do it.
Which is dumb.
It is.
And I don't. So I stick with the Mitch K Francis on Twitter, but at Mitchell Kennard Francis, Kennard Francis on Instagram.
Wow.
Go follow. I post
Yes.
a lot of fun pictures and things of
fun clips.
Yeah, fun clips. Well, not so much clips, but mostly pictures on Instagram.
Yes.
So
His
buddy-
Instagram game is crazy. When you look
It's
at just
ridiculous.
his page in general, it all
It's
looks
aesthetic.
the same.
It's aesthetic, yeah.
It all has
it's a
like
process,
the white border.
dude. Getting like my Instagram to look the way it is.
Yeah, I could not. Nope. No, hard pass, brother.
Yeah.
But we are very, very happy to bring you onto the PALS team in this way. You know, it's the first step of growth. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Let's go, Dad.
Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
All right. We are moving on to the housekeeping portion of this episode.
As
And
one
there's-
does.
As one does, as we do here. And there's quite a lot to talk about. Okay, as always, as we're building up, Big Chungus I'm going to say that constantly. Just get ready for it. It's my new meme.
Chungus.
Big Chungus, yes. Big Chungus episode number 10 is coming. It's happening. It's popping off. But we still need your suggestions. We've heard all sorts of things. I've had several meetings with a lot of pals. No, seriously. Carter, Adam, Ethan, Tristan. We've all sat down to talk about it. We go to the coffee shop. We go to the Foundry. It's good times.
Those are mutually inclusive things.
Yeah. They are. And we talk about ideas for the show. But we could always use more. So, please, if you're out there, you can hit us up at Mitchell. What is our plug our socials?
Our social media is pals being pals _ on both Twitter and Instagram. Staying uniform up in these streets.
We did what we could on episode 1.
We did what we could. So yeah, pals being pals, all lowercase _ at the end. DM us suggestions. I will be looking and reading through those. And working to improve our content strategy.
Ooh.
Second thing on the housekeeping, listen, you can I appreciate you messaging me. I know episode 6 on YouTube is 20 seconds long and it won't let you access it. I don't know what's happening. I'm going to take a big look at it.
A big Chungus look.
And we're going to see what's wrong. But it should be fixed, hopefully, by the time you hear this episode. Next, I do have to pimp something that I'm doing in association with PALS coming up, and Taylor's also a part of it as well. Theatrix is hosting Center Stage, which is something where a couple of student directors bring plays, and we do a stage reading of the play. So I am lucky enough to be emceeing and hosting the event, and plugging PALS there, as I do, because, that's what we got to do around here.
A great place to plug pals because I think that's
God.
actually kind of an audience that we haven't really tapped into yet.
Absolutely. And it's going to be cool because I'm actually going to take this equipment and being recording. I'm going to actually record the actual page. Jesus.
Oh my God.
The
Parker,
stage
get it together.
reading.
The staged readings themselves, and then we're going to produce them as their own podcast. So that's something that's going to be really cool. Taylor, you're actually one of the directors, yes?
I am, yes.
You looking forward to that?
I am. I'm actually going to be working with Maya Lynn Pierce.
Oh,
Has she been on the podcast
hell
yet?
yeah,
She
she
has.
has.
Her writing is phenomenal.
Can't be beat.
No, it cannot.
It's very good.
Her play is called Writer's Retreat, and it's something. You guys will
It
not
slaps?
be. It slaps. It slaps hard, Chungus.
Oh, wow. That's a stretch.
Mitchell's
we
face.
have
Already
we
exhausted,
have
Chungus.
entered we have entered
no.
depths
Have we exhausted
in which
it, though?
no man
Yes.
has entered.
But no, the other
The
playwrights are
deepest Chungus.
really amazing. Oh gosh, we have Tatiana Nicole Davis, who's also a playwright.
Yes.
Michaela Delati is going to be directing her piece. There's also Hilda Ray,
Mm.
who will be directing Beck Dameron.
Dameron. Beck Dameron.
Wow.
We're working.
I'm
we're
so bad.
Listen, it's okay. I've been messing up all night already.
It is the late Chungus.
It's a late 11:24.
We also have Cullen Wiley, who's going to be directing Krista Retka's piece.
Yeah.
And
And do you remember the
Matt
dates?
Blom.
Matt Blom,
Matt Blom.
will be directing
forget him.
Ethan Greenlee's piece.
Oh, the heist. Oh, sorry.
We don't talk about it.
Sorry. You'll have to come
No
to
spoilers?
Center Stage on February.
She doesn't even know when it
It's
is.
like
It's either-
ASMR.
Listen, I'm
It's
hosting
either-
the damn thing. I should know.
It's either February
It is February
8th and 9th
Yes.
at 7:30.
Yes.
I thought it was 7th and 8th, but it
I did
is
too.
8th
That's really
8th
quick.
and 9th.
Yeah, it's coming up. I'm
Two-
nervously anticipating it.
3 weeks?
Something like that.
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because we go
Oh.
we
Go
go
to
to Colorado
Denver.
next
Yeah, we
week.
go to Colorado next week.
Segue.
We're traveling
Nah,
there.
listen,
Oh
we'll
my
get there. We'll get
goodness.
there. So yes, please come to the Lab Theater in Temple Building on February 8th or 9th at 7:30. I'll be there. I'll be looking snazzy as ever, and I'll be emceeing this thing on behalf of PALS. So please come support us there. Next, as you're listening to this, in the deepest, darkest webs of the Nebraska Union, an article is being published about the PALS podcast. They interviewed me. They interviewed you, Mitchell, this
I
week.
wish that we would have figured out the content strategist thing
know,
like
that would've been hot.
before.
It would've been hot.
Because she literally asked me, she was like, "What do you do for pals?" And I was like,
Nothing.
"No, honestly, really nothing." And we came over to Parker's like 7 hours later
and
and
you're like,
figured out that I now do this thing, so it's okay. It's fine.
but I got this email and they were like, hey, we heard about this because of Center Stage. We like the idea of something weird like this happening at our school. Do you mind talking to us about it? And I was like, heck yeah. Some free advertising? You bet. So,
it's a good place to grow viewer base.
well, and that's what we're trying to do always. That's
Viewer,
always
listener. I'm so sorry.
viewer, listener, audio,
We can't be seen
face,
right
space. Yeah.
now. Thank God.
Yeah. I would look like trash. So you can check that article out on our social media pages, Twitter and Instagram. They'll be pimped there, right, Mitchell?
100%.
Yeah, baby.
I already have it scheduled.
Nice. Or you can even see it on my personal account. I'll probably have something deep and thoughtful to say about it.
Aw.
So that's the end of housekeeping. Should we move in to the big topic?
The big topic. The
Big
big
Chungus topic.
Chungus topic.
Yes?
Hey.
Shall we?
Yes.
Maria only speaks in one word
I know.
responses.
I'm really
could say
trying
her
to abide by
sentences
the no
are-
interrupting rule, Mitchell,
Small.
because I
Thank
just
you.
feel like I don't want to interrupt.
I appreciate that.
So this is the quietest I've been in a long time.
A
She
polite girl.
She speaks when spoken to, I guess. Which you don't have to do that around here.
Okay.
Fucking go for it. Just go for it. That's the best thing.
I agree with that.
I wholeheartedly agree. I need a drink. Shall we move to Robert? He's begging for some attention. Isn't that right, Robert?
Robert is ready-furred. Get it?
I
Yes.
Robert
love
Redford.
everything about
So,
what you
Maria,
just said.
little did you know you have a very special job. It's not hard.
Are you gonna let her spin Robert?
Well, I'm gonna spin Robert, but she has to do something even more special. You have to. Robert doesn't have a mic. He doesn't get to. He makes noises, but he did. I need you to help
Correct.
him.
He is a wooden circle.
Yes, thank you.
Spoiler alert.
And we can't give him. We don't have enough channels to give him his own mic.
Of course.
Right. So would you do the honors of holding your very wet mic up to him so he can speak?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Do it.
So the topic that we're talking about today, folks, is travel. Traveling in general. Okay, we are all big fans of travel. Isn't that right, Mitchell?
As all
I'm
people
doing
in first
more
world countries
traveling
are.
this year than I've probably ever done in any one calendar year before. So
Hell's
You're
bells.
right.
And we are going to get to all that after we figure out who's going to ask the first question. Are you ready? Just get right in there.
Right. Oh my god.
Bang, bang, bang.
It would really help.
I'm going on a trip in my favorite rocket ship.
Oh, is that? Sorry,
the
that's my
sky,
bad.
Little
Ready?
Einstein.
So ready.
Robert! That was the worst spin. Oh. Maria! You get to ask them. Yeah. I don't know why that cord is being that way. Careful. Let me make
I'm
sure.
back.
Are you still plugged in, boss? I think you are. Go ahead.
Hello. I got the first question. I've been dreading this.
Because she's like, there's questions.
I thought they were pre-prepared. I don't know what I thought this was. Jeopardy. I don't know. But I guess my first question is... Actually, I think this would be a bad first question, but it's the only one I've thought of. I was going to say, like, what your worst travel memory was.
No, that's a great
that's
place
a
to
great
start.
question. I have to think about that. Okay.
I've got it.
Oh,
Excitement from the crowd.
know. I'm ready to answer.
Answer.
When I was 12 and my brother was 10, my grandparents took us for like a New Year's trip to Universal Studios.
Yes.
And for some reason, I was so fucking sick the entire time. I was pooping green shit everywhere that I didn't want to go to the parks because I was so sick, and my grandparents were yelling at me the entire time and telling me that I was a baby and to get over it.
Get your green ass over here.
And Mitchell just looks so disgusted. Okay, and so on New Year's Eve, they made us go to bed before midnight.
Bunch of
Dude.
asses.
I know.
You didn't even get your kiss.
10 years old.
Yeah.
12.
Sorry. A big jump.
So yeah, that was it.
That's
I mean, it was
horrible.
cool. I
That
feel
is
like if I went to
horrible,
Universal
actually.
Studios now, I would appreciate it. They
Yeah.
had just opened the Harry Potter World section, and it was fucking filled with people.
Oh,
so
of
obviously we
course.
didn't get to go.
No.
And I really wasn't into Harry Potter until
time.
until within the last 2 years.
Wow, that's a quick time to be into Harry Potter. What started that? It was all when he came to me in a dream. You're a wizard, Taylor. Just like that?
No, this person that's not in my life anymore actually showed me the videos, the movies, and
Got
I was
it.
like, wow, this is really good. That's the only thing I take from that person being in my life.
It's all right.
Is stop laughing at me.
I know who you're talking about.
I hate. All right.
Mitchell.
A certain person who shall not be named.
Thou who shall not be named.
Exactly.
Voldemort, if you will.
Voldemort.
But Harry Potter is really good.
It slaps.
It is. The fourth one's my favorite for
God,
sure.
I hate that. Right?
Dude.
The fourth one's so...
It's
like...
Prisoner of Azkaban. That's like the clear choice.
Or...
God, but the fourth one is so good.
Order
it has
of the
Robert
Phoenix.
Pattinson in it. Then he dies.
Rightfully so.
I'm sorry for the spoiler if
I've
anybody
never
hasn't
seen
seen it.
any of them.
Listen, I think that Order of the Phoenix is a better book.
That one is so
Such a
yeah,
good
I was
book.
gonna
Don't you
say,
think?
It's really
There's a
boring.
difference, though, between a better book and a better movie.
Okay, so what... All right. You think that 3 is the better movie.
Yes.
Do you think 5 is the better book?
You know, I haven't read them since 4th grade, so
From your
I
4th
can't.
grade memory.
My 4th, I'm retrieving it.
Pull it out
I'm gonna
slowly.
say yes to be unproblematic. I don't have the credentials to back up an opinion.
Can someone else just talk? I'm so embarrassed and uncomfortable right now.
Why? No, it's okay. I like being embarrassed on this show. I am constantly. It's okay to be embarrassed. Right, Mitchell?
Yes.
Mitchell, what?
We all take turns only
He
saying
only
yes.
speaks when spoken to.
So Mitchell, what's your worst
Worst
traveling
travel
experience?
memory.
Okay, I have to think because I don't know if I've ever been like sick on a trip. Like I'm racking
But in
my
a
It doesn't
different
have to
way.
be
And it
sick.
doesn't have to be
There are other
sickness,
bad
even though
Like you
things.
fell and hurt yourself?
But I feel like that would be like an
That's my knee.
adequate thing for like being like having the worst travel memory. They are laughing.
They are, and I don't understand.
I
Like,
don't
you guys can
understand why
speak.
either.
Okay, I have this curse placed upon me that literally I get this comment at least once a week, if not twice or thrice, from different people that they just look at me and laugh.
Well, you know what?
Comment
Maybe you shouldn't be
below.
around me anymore,
Literally
Maria.
comment below if I'm weird looking. Like, I don't know what's up.
I don't think that it's not that you're weird looking. I think it's because we can see you coming up with a joke, and like it's the
But I'm
anticipation
not.
of what it's going to
You
be.
overestimate my intellect. I'd really just be looking. Babies be walking around holding the same potato chip for 5 hours. That's me, but just with my eyes. I
Mitchell,
just be looking.
What is your worst travel memory?
Getting back on track.
Are you thinking?
I'm thinking it has to be. I don't know why this came into my head. So myself and one of my really good friends. This was when we were like, I think like 13 or 14. We went with my mom and his mom. They took us like 3.5 hours
Jesus.
to go to this water park. That was in like the middle of Iowa.
Fuck Iowa.
Right. I agree.
I'll drink to that.
Chungus cheers.
Chungus cheers. Wow, we got to start doing
I was
that.
like, Mitchell, you didn't even Chungus cheers.
And we got there and we swam in the pool and went down the slides for about 20 minutes before they blew the whistle and everybody had to clear out.
No.
At first we thought it was just break. But then they said over the intercom that the pool was going to be closed.
Permanently.
The pool and water
Indefinitely.
park was going to be closed for the rest of the day in order to do some cleaning.
Excavating.
Wait.
And so we
Oh,
walked up to the front
no.
desk because we were curious.
What? Who's shit in
And
the pool?
the front desk lady was like 17 years old, and she was like,
Idiot.
someone pooped in the pool.
I love it when that happens.
We drove 3.5 hours
Oh no.
because
So
we
someone,
wanted to go to this cool water park.
so someone
Oh
could
my
shit in
God.
the pool.
Only for somebody to literally shit on our day.
Oh no.
So that's the one I can remember. A very close second would be my mom and I were driving back from. I wasn't doing any driving. I was like 12. We were driving
was
back
like 6.
from Colorado, and it took 15 hours because it was a blizzard.
Oh, I love that.
And so I feel like that's very
That's
high
so
on my mom's
scary.
list, but also equally for me because it was awful and I was scared. So those are the
Scary
top two for me, I would say.
Jesus, dude, that's rough.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go and then you go?
Yes.
Got it. Mine is actually fairly recent. It happened to me. Oh, that's adorable. They kissed hands.
Only I kissed a hand.
Well, maybe he should reciprocate.
You don't tell him what to do.
Okay.
Answer your question.
Got it. So, this was last year's spring break. I had done nothing for spring break, but went back home and was starting to put together the show that I would be directing that summer. And on the way back, it was Sunday, and I had a midterm on Monday.
Oh.
Yeah, lovely. I had not studied for it. Well, I kind of did. Not really, though. I was going to just, go in there.
What kind of fucking teacher schedules a midterm the day after spring break ends?
an
What
ass.
the fuck is that?
I
What
just
class
wanted-
was it?
It was philosophy and current issues.
Oh my god.
Mitchell and I both took it.
Fuck that.
It was bad. So I was just going to go in there, wave my dick in the wind, and see what happened, Hope that it worked well. Long story short, it did. That's my worst travel story. No, I'm kidding. So for some reason, I was tired of being home, and it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, you know what?
Oh.
I'm going to go. I'm going to pack up my shit and leave.
I'm gonna get myself and I'm gonna go.
So I go upstairs to my mom's room, and she's passed the fuck out. And I'm like knocking on her door, and I go in, and I wake the dogs up.
Idiot.
I know. And so they're like, That's what Finn does.
I can fucking hear Finn doing that. Oh my god.
He's a cow. And she's like, what?
He's a dog.
What do you want? Yeah, he is a dog.
He's a big
We
chungus.
cannot assume you grew up in Yeeville. You might actually have a cow.
In my mom's bedroom.
We can't judge. I love animals.
Thank you for the clarification.
PETA sponsor us.
Sponsor us.
So she's like, what? And I'm like, hey, I'm going to leave. Like, I'll see you in a couple weeks. And she's like, okay, drive safe. And she didn't. I called her the next morning and she's like, when did you leave? Like, she had no recollection of this. So I get all my things. I'm in the car and it's about a 3.5 hour drive, 4 hour drive. And it's late at night. There's no cars on the road. I'm speeding like a villain. Okay. I'm going probably 89, 87, 89. Speed limit 75. I hit North Platte and there's a cop in the ditch. So I release the cruise.
Cop in the ditch.
Coming at your fist. So there's cop
Being a bitch.
That's where it should have gone.
Fuck 12. Just kidding.
12.
So I played it really cool. Okay, so I release the cruise control. I don't hit the brakes. Because if you hit the brakes, then they know that you were speeding.
Oh, yeah.
So I quickly go down to like a cool 78-ish. And I put the cruise back on, and I'm just going. This motherfucker, I'm right at North Platte, probably like 2 miles outside of North Platte. He comes whipping onto the road right behind me, comes right up to my ass. I'm like, all right. I started pulling out my wallet. I was like, I'm done. I am so done. And he gets in the other lane, pulls in, because I'm in the right-hand lane. He comes to the left hand, pulls up right beside me, stares at me, and then takes off. And then he like cuts right across my what's the front of your car called? The front bumper. Jesus.
The front.
Yeah, he comes like I'm sorry.
Front of car? Question mark?
Final answer. Front of car.
What is?
He comes pounding across the front. Right, and I was
Then he just pounds me.
No,
This
story
is the
gets-
sex episode.
This is it.
Just
We've
kidding.
decided.
This is the sex ASMR.
We're
Stop.
doing a sex episode, by the way.
God, back on topic. He comes pounding across the front, and I'm like hitting North Platte, and he just takes off the exit. And I was like, "Fuck you, buddy, for scaring me like that." And so I get outside North Platte, about 5 miles, and I'm listening to John Mulaney's comedy special to keep me awake because I've already hit. It's like midnight. I've hit the tired zone. So I'm listening to this. I'm giggling. I got a big bag of pretzels to my right, and I got a big gulp.
Why are you such a nerd?
I
Oh
don't
my
know.
god.
And I've got some kind of drink in my hand.
La Croix.
So
No.
there's no hands on the steering wheel at this
There was
point.
one hand.
Big gulp.
Got a big chungus
Right
roll.
in.
I had one hand on the steering wheel. Okay, and it starts to snow a little.
This story, the plot thickens.
And the snow quickly, in about 2 minutes, becomes a full-on shitstorm blizzard.
Oh no.
And I'm like, oh no. So I put the big gulp in the cup holder. I keep the bag of pretzels to my right. And I picked up my phone to change the album to something that I could focus on the road with. And it's snowing really hard. Like the visibility negative, if that's possible. I look up.
The answer is no. That
Thank
is
you.
not possible.
Fact check, buddy. That's your
What
other.
is no?
So I look up, and there's a deer standing about not even like 40 feet ahead of me. Like I'm going to hit this thing in like 0.5 seconds.
PETA's not going to sponsor us anymore if you
No.
get this fucking deal.
So you
I'm
know what I
leaving.
did? The roads were slick already. I whipped it into the left lane. Avoid, like, you're not supposed to do this. I know you're
No.
supposed to hit the brake and just hope that you're okay.
Yes. No, you're supposed to speed up.
Really?
Yes, you're supposed to speed up, hit the deer, so it rolls over your car, and the antlers don't go into your front
That's
windshield.
actually true.
Oh,
That's
see,
fact.
I didn't know
Oh
this.
my god.
That's actually true.
Love animals,
Yeah.
but you're supposed to ram
Kill
into
them.
that
You're
puppy.
supposed
like,
to ram that.
either you die or it dies, and I'm just oh my
You know
god.
what? So I whip into the left lane. I am skidding off the road. I pull it back once I pass the deer, and I skid back to like a normal place, and I just pull into the ditch. I pull into the ditch, and I'm like, how the fuck am I still alive?
Did you cry?
I put it in park, and I call my mom because I was like, I have to tell somebody I'm okay. Like, for some reason, I just expected that people were worrying about me. Because
She was
it's
gonna
just-
wake up in her sleep and be like,
Yeah, exactly. So I'm
Like in the movies.
so I call her and I'm like, I'm okay. I just got to tell you I'm okay. And she's like, what the fuck? What happened? I was like, I literally almost just rammed a deer so fast.
Almost
And
pounded it.
what had happened in the meantime, and this was the most devastating part, you guys, is that my big bag of pretzels
Was strewn about
all over the place.
No.
And so
Your
I'm
big gulp?
safe.
Intact?
Safe.
Safe.
Big gulp, safe. So I'm sitting on the side of I-80, and it's like 12 degrees out, and I have the driver's door open, and I'm shoveling pretzels. I love that.
We are recording in the bathroom for peace.
Mitchell just had a big chungus pee.
I'm shoveling pretzels out onto the interstate. I shit you not. There's like... I'm giving this deer food for it to come and eat later.
Are
'Cause
you kidding me?
I literally looked behind me, and I'm like, that motherfucker's still standing there.
He's ready to square up, bro.
He literally squared you up.
And I'm like,
Like he literally said, "Bring it on, bitch."
I'm like, I almost killed your ass, but here, let me feed you instead of killing you like I should.
PETA's definitely gonna sponsor us now
Yeah.
because you fed the deer.
So I had to drive the rest of the way from like North Platte.
With the deer in the passenger seat. You guys became friends.
No
He's outside in the backyard right now.
This is
hanging
open
out.
season.
Big gulp, half empty, no pretzels.
He was
ate
just
them.
such a
Live
rude
deer in the
guest.
backseat.
Worst travel story.
So I had to drive.
Talking shit like motherfucker, you swerve, bitch. You swerve, pussy. Get fucked, kid.
And that's the story of how I got shown up by a deer. Thank you.
So anyway, the rest of the story is pretty simple. I drove so slow on the way back to Lincoln. I should have got there at like 3 a.m. I didn't get back till 7.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So it was like
Took you 7 hours to drive from North Platte to Lincoln.
It was like, and this snowstorm wasn't even on the radar. So I'm sorry, you're writing things, and so I had my test at 9:30. I was sleep deprived as fuck because it was 7. I wasn't gonna go to sleep. I was just like, fuck it, I gotta just sit through this. Went and took my test. Got a fucking B plus. I was like, I can't remember. Got a B plus on that shit. Passed the whole class with an A. That's one way to do it, cats.
That has got to be the worst travel story.
It was rough.
No bullshit though. That cop thing you were talking about,
Scary as hell.
I've had that same shit happen to
and
me.
it's just like, either do it or
They
don't.
do, I think they do that shit sometimes.
Oh,
I have
when it's that
same
late at
shit
night?
where I was literally hitting the brake, I have my hazards on already. I was pulling over, and he whips around and speeds past. And
And it's like, fuck off.
fuck that. I think they do that shit on purpose, bro.
Maria,
Worst travel memory.
story?
top it.
Bro, mine's like not even good. It's not even good.
Maria's like, I did hit a deer, so
I rode all the way to California on a deer. Just kidding. That's
That actually
that'd be
sounds
a great
great.
story.
What a
I
steed.
must have been high. But my worst travel story, casual. The typical, they lose your luggage. I went to El Paso last year.
They lost your fucking luggage
Yeah,
on
I
that
had my
trip?
costume in there. I got paid $1,200 to shake my ass in this Spanish play for 10 minutes. I had 0 lines.
Wait, are you serious?
My whole character, woman number 1, revolved around me shimmying
is this
in
that
this
what is this?
sequin dress. La Capiadora.
oh, that thing.
That
Yeah.
thing, yeah. We went to El Paso, Texas to perform. I got paid bank to shimmy.
But you couldn't shimmy.
And my shimmy dress
your
was
shimmy
in my
tools.
luggage as it should be. Not going to be in my carry-on. I'm not a heathen.
No.
And then they lost it. I flamed them over Twitter.
Was it Southwest?
Southwest.
Southwest can
Southwest.
suck my fucking dick. They lose my. No, I'm serious. They lose my luggage almost every single time I fly with them.
Yeah.
But you're always gonna see me on a Southwest flight.
Literally low
'Cause
prices.
it's cheap.
Like, yeah.
I'll
And
take
now
it.
a word from our sponsor, Southwest. The best low rates.
But you'll always find
Guys,
me on
we
Southwest.
just here at the
For
PALS
real.
podcast, we just love Southwest. They give us awesome deals. We actually have a promotion code to actually get
God,
your
I
luggage
fucking
stolen.
wish.
It's pals.stolen luggage. So hit them up on southwest.com.
Keep these
Promo
lights
code,
on
give
for
me
us.
back my
Pay
shit.
these bills, honey.
Motel 8? That's not even what.
What?
We'll keep the light on for you. Isn't that Motel
Keep
8?
the light on for you,
No,
boss.
I'm
really
saying-
uncomfortable. I
I'm
don't know
saying
what
they
that
need to use
means,
the
or
promo
implies.
I
code.
know what it means.
So that
Big
Southwest
Chungus.
gives us money for them using us our promo code, so then we get to pay our bills to
Got
keep
it.
our light. Yeah.
Keep our
know
lights
what?
on here at the
I'm
PALS
so sorry.
Bean PALS Studios. Should we spin? Let's get to another question.
Yeah, that was literally it. I
you ready?
eventually got my luggage, but
Spin
not in time for the
wheel.
performance.
I'm so sorry about that.
I know.
Did you get to go shopping though?
No, Hilda had some like cute clothes, so I just kind of put
She
that
had
on.
some ass shaking devices with her.
Yes,
Got it.
all different sorts. So I
Dude,
put
what
that
was
on.
Ian's face like? Was he just like,
Yes,
Big sigh.
he was very unbothered. I was bothered,
You were more bothered than he was.
but it's in the past.
Maria, are you ready?
I'm ready. Oh my god, actually,
Why did you do it that way?
Can we?
because it
can we
doesn't
get
fit
it?
over
I
the other
feel-
way. I don't know what's.
I think you're sitting on the cord.
I
Friend.
think
oh, Chungus?
that of course it's my
Chungus.
fault.
I'm just helping you out. I'm not saying it's your
Thank you.
fault.
It's okay. It's okay. We're not fighting.
Oi there, Chungus.
Chungus!
Okay, back
I'm
to
gonna
I didn't know what that was.
Robert.
Robert,
Okay.
man. Roderick.
What?
What is this? Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
Our sponsor,
Loaded
Greg
diaper.
Epley.
Oh,
That
that's
was
a good one.
That was a good one. Oh yeah.
If it lands on me, I swear to God. Bro, it landed on me.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
Oh,
Taylor.
no.
Taylor instead.
Taylor. Can we start calling you that?
I've been
No.
calling
Can
her
we call you
that.
the Winksmobile?
You can call me Tinky Winky.
Ooh.
Why is that better?
That sounds like a potty training device for like toddlers.
Tinky Winky's the name of one of the Teletubbies, the purple one.
That's what they
That
called me
does
in
not
my
make it better.
Teletubby days.
I love the Teletubbies. Poe is my favorite, actually. The red
I didn't
one.
even know they had fucking names.
Poe,
Pink,
Tinky
blue.
Winky, Lala, and Dipsy.
And Big Chungus. Thank you.
There was an unknown one named Big Chungus.
I will. I have laundry to do, but I will be here.
I'm in love with Big Chungus. What's your question, Taylor?
With Big Chungus.
About travel.
All right. My question is, have you guys ever been to a place where you've learned a lot of like new information about a place? Like, for example, I went to London. Don't fucking look at me like that, Maria.
She looked at me like, do you know what
She's
she
like,
said?
what the fuck is Taylor saying? So, like, when I went to London 2 summers ago, I studied at Shakespeare's Globe, and it was the most informative. And you know what? Fuck you,
No, I
Maria,
have my
again.
answer. I'm just laughing because I have my answer. Go, keep
You're
going.
the worst.
It's gonna be so stupid.
But like,
ahead.
I learned a lot, and I really value the information, and I value being able to go on that
What
trip.
kind of information did you learn from said trip? Like
about
just about theater?
Shakespeare.
Or?
Yeah, and it was kind of like a new appreciation for the arts, in a sense. Yeah.
So was it like, I mean, obviously you were really focused on theater and Shakespeare at that time, but did you get to learn a lot about London itself and the
Oh my god.
sort of culture
Yeah.
there?
It was amazing. I had never been out of the country until then.
How different is it than ye old Midwest Nebraska?
Well, let me tell
Brother,
you.
let me tell
It's Chevy
you.
Truck Month.
We're fucking unstoppable.
The only difference between here and England is that in England, Chevy Truck Month only happens once a year. Here, it's every fucking month.
They just call it something else every month.
It's Chevy
You know,
Trunk
the end of the
Month
year
over
sale
here.
or something like that.
That was really bad.
Maybe. The only thing that matters is Toyotathon and Hyundai Days, so.
I literally, for the next episode, want to like prepare my own version of a like Ford or Chevy commercial.
Oh my god.
I think that'd be fun.
A big Chungus commercial.
Stop. We have to be stopped.
It's Big Chungus Month.
So Mitchell, where's a place that you've been that
What is
you've
going
learned?
on? What just
Like
happened?
I guess that you didn't expect to learn something valuable and that you keep it with you.
I got it.
in your heart.
For a
I have
second.
my answer.
Maria.
Where have I been? I don't even know where I've been.
Me either.
It's so deep.
I have to think lots, yes.
Don't know where I've
Can you
been.
skip me?
Of course.
Maria, you have
Maria,
an answer.
do you have an answer?
It's short and sweet.
Of
That
course.
sucks
I love
because I
it.
need some time.
Last spring break, I
I learned a lot about myself.
Last spring break,
What I
I
can
did
handle.
go to Padre, but after I went to Padre, which I learned many a thing, I visited the Alamo, and I remembered
Never
the
forget.
Alamo. That is what I've learned. It stuck with me. Parker, it's your turn.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Have you forgotten the Alamo?
I could never forget the Alamo, Parker. I don't know why you would even dare
Big
to
high
ask me
five.
that.
I have a very close friend of mine, and we always say, "Never forget the Alamo." You know that?
Never forget.
You can't forget.
Literally, all of the high schools in Texas are named after people who protected the
Protected.
I went
Protect
to a
the
middle
Alamo.
school named David Crockett Middle School and William B. Travis High School.
Dude,
Da-
they don't make
James
enough movies
Bowie
in general, but
Bowie
they don't
Middle
make enough
School,
movies
yeah,
about the Alamo.
is too much.
Can we do a short film about the Alamo? I think it's
Yes.
important.
Can I be in it?
Well, I mean, we'll think about it.
Can I audition? At least?
Probably.
Thank you.
It's
Please
an
put me
open.
in it.
It's an open cast.
Please put me in your film. I'm from Texas. I know a lot.
So, what's a place that I've been to that I learned a lot? Kid, does it have to be about the place in general, or I had to learn a lot about something?
I guess learn about something. Like, you know how people go to like the beach and they're just there to relax and just have a good time.
They go to the beach, then to the mall. I don't know how that sounds.
Let's go get away.
Yeah.
I feel like you should cut that part out. Like, can
And
you do
cut.
that?
Cut, Mitchell. We're cutting there. Okay. Content strategist.
That is not my job.
That is not my job.
Hey, not my job. I learned a lot. This past summer, I went to.
What are you laughing at?
Let's
Actually,
go to
what
the
are you
beach.
laughing at?
Let's go to the mall.
Let's go
Can
to the
everyone
beach.
listening just like take a moment of silence for what that was.
All right. Hey. Here's the moment of silence. Ready?
Different definitions of silence
Let's go to
here
the
on
beach.
PALS
Beach.
Podcast.
Let's just go to Kohl's.
I have so much Coles Clash. Coles Clash. A short film.
Dude,
Black
I love
Friday at
Kohl's.
Kohl's.
Clash.
Ooh.
Holy
Yeah, it's not what you think. Like, you think it's about people fighting in Kohl's, but it's actually like two
Kohl's fighting,
stores
competing.
becoming animate objects and fighting each other.
That went way further than I anticipated. What did I learn a lot about? Let me tell you.
Beach.
Let's go to the mall.
I think I started mixing that song and a song from How I Met Your Mother, Robin Sparkles.
How the fuck did you do that?
Listen, buddy, let me tell you, my brain is a magic place. that
Mitchell,
is sometimes
do you
good
have
and
an
sometimes
answer?
bad. I have an answer. You just keep talking over me.
No, we're going to skip you.
Because my stories are best saved for last?
Oh,
okay.
I have my answer.
Yeah. What is
Go
it,
ahead.
Mitchell?
No, you finish yours first.
No,
you
I
finish yours
hadn't
first.
even started mine. Go ahead. I'm telling you.
Okay. Well, it actually does involve the beach. So the summer, that would have been
Of 69?
would have been the summer before my senior year of high school.
So you were just graduated junior year.
Just graduate. That makes sense. The summer before my senior year of high school, I took a trip down to Savannah, Georgia, with my family, and it was part vacation, part school, like visiting. At that time, my final two schools that I was looking into was the Savannah College of Art and Design,
Right, you've told me this.
and here.
Because you
UNL.
were like, I'm going to go to Savannah. And I was like, no.
And we did a lot of fun stuff. We went to the beach in Savannah, as well as in the back of our end of our trip, we went to Myrtle Beach, which is in South Carolina. We kind of made like a whole thing. We went to Atlanta a little bit. But when we were in Savannah, I remember we toured the school. And first of all, let me just say, Savannah, Georgia is one of the most beautiful cities I've
They-
ever been to in the
they've got
entire
it going
country. With the history, like the historic looking buildings, the way downtown is set up, the trees. What
You both had separate approaches. I'm pouring a glass of La Croix. Maria took her microphone away, and Taylor put it in it. Mitchell, Savannah, Georgia. It's beautiful.
Yeah, very beautiful. And the campus of SCAD is right in the heart of downtown, like almost right in the middle. And we visited, and we got to look around and see some of the stuff, and we met with one of the recruiters and like talked with her about like the different programs and things like that.
Yeah.
And a little bit about the cost, and she gave us like a little pamphlet that kind of laid out like some of the
Here's
loan
how much
stuff.
money this is.
It was expensive. It was like $55K a year. So I remember we did that, and then we got done, and my mom and I were just walking around like this square because like
On
Savannah's,
campus?
No, like in downtown, because it's literally like it's hard to explain. It's in the middle of downtown. Like there's shops and stuff on either side. Like it's not like
That's
Lincoln where
weird.
it's like its own thing. It's super interesting. But anyway, so we were walking in like down in Savannah at least, and I think it's this way in the South a lot. Is there's like city squares with parks in the middle, right? So like
I can picture it.
you know, I'm talking about a little bit like blocks. Each block has like it's like a square.
Yes.
And then there's parks with like benches and things like that in the middle.
Smaller parks, kind of.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm with you.
We were walking around the park, and my mom asked me, she was like, so, you know, is this like something you'd want to like do? Like come down here and like.
Okay, and that's what I was about to ask is like, did you see yourself there?
So she asked me, she was like, is this something you want to do? And I remember like looking around and thinking, like, this place is really beautiful and I would love being here, but I want to be a part of something that's growing. I said that to her. I was like, I feel like my home and like where my heart is at Lincoln, a part of like,
fuck yeah,
a part of something that's growing and continuing to grow.
Go Big Red.
And so, and also,
Grow Big
yeah,
Red.
like Go Big Red. Like I'm a huge Husker fan. I just felt like I told her, I was like, I feel like my heart's at home. And so that was something that entire trip, I basically learned a lot about myself and a lot about like my
what you
desires
wanted.
and goals and what I wanted to do.
Do you regret it now?
No, I do not.
Good answer.
Because I've met amazing people and gotten to do amazing things. And even though we like to talk trash on the Johnny Carson School of Theater and Film all the time,
I don't know what you're talking
Says who? I love the Johnny Carson School of Theater and Film.
at the end of the day, it's provided me a lot of opportunities that, you know, maybe I would or would not have gotten other places. But I feel like this school really aligns with and fits me perfectly for what I want to try to accomplish in my life. So
Well,
that's
it goes to like when you said this, it kind of like, I know we've been joking. All right, we joke around constantly, but when you said like you wanted to be a part of something that's like growing and you really feel like that's kind of like what's happening here, I just like kind of realized like how fucking right you are, because we as a collective group of students here right now, I feel like we're getting shit done. We're getting shit done, and we're like, this place is gonna be something, you guys. With the new school opening up, that and like the power behind that. Do you guys understand the absolute like the amount of people that are looking at us right now saying, "What are these idiots doing?"
exactly.
Oh, no. I think the film school is doing amazing things. I would never like say that you guys are not.
Yeah.
You guys are the talent from the Johnny Carson School of Theater and Film, but all the focus is on the theater. Wow, we just got really deep.
No, it's okay. That's what it's
And
for.
it's wild that like it's
Like this is gonna 10 years down the line when we don't go to school here. Well, maybe me because I can never get anything done. When we leave this place and we look back and I know that like this school, not just the film stuff but the theater stuff too. I feel like all of it is going to grow at an incredible rate over these next 10 years.
I agree with that. And it's incredible that like us as juniors and seniors in high school recognize that. Like me standing in the middle of beautiful Savannah, Georgia, but thinking to myself, I know where my heart is and I know where I actually need to be. Like being able to realize that at such a, I feel like, very immature stage in a lot of people's lives. Like in high school, you're still pretty immature. in a lot of ways. And I don't know. I think it just goes to show, the influence and power that this school can have on people,
100%.
even though, we like to joke and make fun all the time.
Yes,
But
because that's what we do, because we're here and we live it every day and stuff like that. Good. That was a good story, buddy. So you learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Who hasn't? You went.
I remember the Alamo, so
Never forget.
I
God
can
damn
never
it.
the only
forget
one
it.
who hasn't
London,
gone.
it's me.
Yeah.
I have several stories I could talk about. But I think I'm going to give a juxtaposition. Hopefully I'm using that word right. I can never apparently do that.
I will let you know.
Thank you.
Fact check.
Or a contradiction. Not a contradiction. Fuck.
Just say
A
it and I'll let you know.
contrast to Mitchell's story, and I'm going to talk something kind of different. Fuck, Robert. Don't bite me like that, asshole. So I learned a lot this past June, and I talked about this with in the DN article interview. I don't know if it made the cut or not, but this past June, a lot of you guys know, or if you saw anything on my social media, I went up to Big Burp coming. I'm sorry. This La Croix just does a number on me. We went up to Rocky Mountain National Park on a whim. Okay, we had paid to fly a buddy of mine up from Florida because we had missed his ass, and so we brought him up, and we were like, let's just go. We have all of our bags packed. We knew that we were going to stay in Colorado for a day or two, but we didn't know where. The general idea was the mountains, so we drove up to Estes. No idea where we were going to stay. No idea where we were going to eat or what we were going to eat or what we were going to do. And we get to Estes Park, and we just kind of like got out of the car and started walking downtown to like these different shops. And we're like, it's like 3:00. We should probably figure out where we're going to sleep tonight. And so we go to enter Rocky Mountain National Park, because it's separate than Estes. There's like this big gate, and you have to like pay money to enter and shit like that. So
Is it a national park?
Yes.
Is it shut down right now?
Probably. Actually, well, since there's nobody working it, it's not technically shut down. It's just there's nobody working. So many national
the
parks have
parks
been
are closed.
trashed.
No,
Well,
the
so many
national parks are
have been trashed because they're like closed, but people go in
Really?
anyway. Oh yeah, like when the government reopens, it's gonna be it's a mess. It's just a huge mess. So we go there and we get to the place where you pay, and we're like, so like this Mahoney or this Maloney campground, like that's where
Post Maloney.
I know, right?
Baloney.
This is where everybody stays. This is like the hot campground, right? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. We'll take one plot, a tent plot for tonight. And she's like, oh, buddy, like you should have reserved this months ago. Like there is no space to camp here. And so we all like look at each other in the car like, okay, so we are learning about organization and scheduling. And I was like, can you direct us to a campground in the park? And she said, sure. About 50 miles across the park, there's this little tiny one that houses about 24 tent spots. And we haven't radio contacted them in a couple days, so I can't tell you whether or not they have any spaces open. And we're like, well, we've got nothing to do. Let's just find out. And we just expected it to be like this 50-mile straight shot through the mountains, right? Instead, it was like one of the most memorable drives of my entire life. It's called Trail Ridge Road. And it
fuck yeah, Trail Ridge.
slaps.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I've been
It's
on Trail
amazing.
Ridge like a ton of times.
And
a ton of times.
We get out of the gate, and we start like, once you start escalating, you're like, oh my god, like
It's freaky.
it's
freaky.
wild, right?
It's wild, but it's freaky as
it's
fuck.
like, how did they build this shit? Like, how did these roads, like the amount of work that they had to do to like get around this mountain. And at one point, and I have pictures, it's actually my Twitter, I think it's my Twitter cover photo, but there is a road that is on this crest of a peak, and it's literally like a couple 100 feet drop on one side and a couple 100 feet drop on the other side, and there is no guardrails.
Nope.
So what we did is we get out of the car.
Cry.
No, well, we get out of the car and we just kind of like looked over both edges, and we're like, okay, it's time to get back in the car and head this back up. But we stopped, you guys, like literally every probably 5 minutes just to get out and take pictures and just like breathe. Cause it was incredible. And the sun was starting to set and on the mountains. And like, as the sun was like starting to go down, but there was all these shadows on the rocks and it was just phenomenal. And the next morning we woke up before the sun came up because we were like, well, fuck, if the sunset was this cool, I can't imagine what a sunrise is. And so we remember that there was this like trail to a like peak that was like easily accessible. And so we get in the car and we're driving as the sun is coming up over the mountains. And we get there and there's nobody there. Like the park rangers that were supposed to be at this like little trailhead, nobody's there yet because it's like 5:45, 6 o'clock in the morning. And it's like the middle of summer and it's 50 degrees. It's cold up there. And I have my coat and shit like that. A buddy of mine, the guy from Florida, did not plan for this weather. He's wearing shorts and a t-shirt. And we're like, are we going to climb this? This view's fine, but like, yeah, let's do this. And so we are climbing up this like weird trail. And there's all these signs and some of them are like kind of philosophical about like what it means to like be a mountain and shit like that. And talking about how don't step off the trail, you'll kill the mountain because like there's all this like grass that's really like short. Like I'm holding my finger on the table right now and the width, like how tall my finger is, that's how tall these plants were because it's so cold up there that they can't grow any taller. And so the fear is that if you step on them, you'll kill them and it'll never regrow. Like it's taken hundreds of years for this plant life to grow. Weird tangent. So we get up to like the top of where they want you to end, and because that's the end of the trail. But the mountain keeps going a little bit. And there's sort of this like beaten trail, and I felt like kind of okay about it because there was no grass there anyway. And so we keep climbing and we keep going, and the sun is not fully out yet. And we get to this huge boulder, this big Chungus, Maria. And we see that there's like these like metal steps climbing up on top of this boulder. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, people had to actually like put this here. And we climb up these steps and we get to the top and there is this big Chungus compass this is wild, okay? This big metal.
It's like a real life Easter egg.
I felt like it was a treasure map. Yeah.
It's like a real life Easter egg.
Like in a video game, dude.
Yeah.
Like it was insane. And it's this big. Don't laugh at me for drinking. It's this big, huge metal compass. And it like says on there like look up. Or something like philosophical like that. And it was dedicated to a man. I can't remember his name. I have pictures I can show you, but it's like just look around. And so we were focused on this compass and we just kind of like looked up, and to the east the sun was coming up, and to the west it was like shining this like beautiful yellow morning light on the rest of the mountains behind us. And this compass literally had the mountain like peaks on it, you know? And so what I'm getting to is like what I learned is I learned about what it like really means to be like truly happy in a moment. Like us three guys, we were the happiest we've ever been. At least for me. I can't speak for the other two, but I think that they would agree. I was just in awe of like what this was in this moment and how perfect it was. And I never wanted it to end. Like I was just like, I don't want to get down. Like you can't stay up there forever. Like eventually people were starting to come up and we're like, oh, tourists, we got to get out of here. But like, I didn't want to get down. And I just kind of like that whole trip, when we were leaving Estes and we were driving home, like those two had fallen asleep because we went on this 10-mile hike backwards. That's a whole other story. But I was awake because I had to drive, awake. And I was thinking, I was like, this trip was the single-handedly greatest thing I've done in so long. And I don't want it to end. And like, this is what it means to me to be happy. And so that's like when I decided to myself in June, I was like, you gotta fix some things about yourself. Like that, and like I said in the interview, that truly felt like the start of this, like of the PALS podcast. It wasn't realized until November, but like that's when I learned so much about myself, was on that weird 2-day trip.
You should put that in a movie.
It's been a thought.
We're gonna. No, I'm not saying we have to like do that specific thing, but like
God, no.
maybe segueing into our next thing. When we go to Colorado here in a couple weeks,
Yeah.
we need to go up to Estes Park. It's beautiful
Yeah.
It
up
is.
there. It's so beautiful. I'm willing to make that extra like 2-hour drive from Denver.
I am too, and I've never been up there this time of year. I know that Trail Ridge Road is closed. They close it in
Because it's dangy.
Yeah,
It's very
it's-
dangy because it gets to a point like
it's 30 feet of snow. Like it's ridiculous.
It gets
Or
to a
more.
point, Trail Ridge, where like we would go in the summer, and there's like offshoots of like Trail Ridge where you can keep going up, and it gets to a point where, I mean, it was the middle of the summer, 90 degrees at the bottom of the mountain, and it was blizzarding.
Yeah.
That we have pictures of like when I was like, I think like 6, of our old car covered in snow. It's the middle of the
wild.
summer. It's wild, but it's so. But
It was
what
like truly a
Parker-
life-changing experience.
yeah, what Parker's talking about is something that we'll get to experience in subcapacity because it's just, I don't know. Have you ever been?
No.
Oh my God.
I don't really count this, but when I was about 4 or 5, I went to Colorado for a wedding with my grandparents, but I don't really remember
Not the
it.
same. You have to be able to
Yeah.
experience that shit.
No, that's
Maria,
why
have you ever been?
Yes, I've been to Colorado several times.
Okay.
Have you been to Estes?
I believe so, but that was when I was younger.
Got it.
We got to go up and feed the chipmunks, bro.
Yes.
Dude,
know what
I'm
I'm
worried
talking
that it's
about?
gonna be so. Yes, on what's the name of the mountain? It's right outside of Estes. It's that like little mountain kind of, and you take a trolley or like a tramway
Yep,
up there.
You know exactly what I'm
We
talking
know
about.
what we're saying.
Yeah.
Send me pictures.
We will. But no, so that was a really long story, but like that, it was just
Great story.
Hey, I hope I
It
did
was a good
okay.
story.
It was just incredible. So, should we can either, has everybody asked a question? Mitchell, you haven't asked a question.
I have not asked a question.
Okay, you've asked a question.
I've asked a
You've asked a question.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't. Mitchell, it's between you and I. Let's spin Robert to see what happens. Maria?
So Maria and Taylor are out.
Yes, it's you
So
and I
it's either gotta
fighting
be
for the
Pete,
last
Parker,
spot.
Reil, or MKF.
He got wild. He started
He did.
shaking.
He went really hard right there.
Look, wow.
Parker.
Oh, I want. Okay.
It's Parker.
Yep. You wanted him to go.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have 2 questions. I'm going to decide which one I want.
Ooh, baby.
All right, let's do this. What is the next trip you're going on?
Ooh.
We just discussed.
Well, we could talk about it in
That's
a
just like-
larger capacity.
Yeah.
I guess that's true. I guess it's not
Let's start with
technically the
Taylor.
next trip I'm going.
Taylor, what's the next trip you're going on?
Oh, yes.
The next.
Because I'm also involved in this one.
Yes.
So for spring break, Mitchell and I are taking a trip to my hometown,
Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas, baby.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there will not be a rodeo to attend
Shit.
this time.
Actually sad, Loki.
It ends the day after.
Because Houston has a huge rodeo that goes on.
Oh my God, the Houston
Alan
Lights
Jackson is playing, like...
George Strait
George
closes
Strait.
the rodeo.
It's insane.
Oh, Cardi B's gonna be there.
Oh, of course.
She is. It's crazy.
Cardi, have you
Yeah.
ever seen a cow before? So when that's spring break,
Yeah.
what are you gonna take him to when you're down there? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, she's the trip itinerary person. I've never been to Texas.
You're like,
of
let's
all
get-
the places
let's get
I
going.
have been, Texas is not one of them. So
It's gonna be a grand old time, baby.
Ooh.
The first thing we're gonna do is eat at Whataburger. Maria, did you eat at
literally the
Whataburger?
first
Yes,
thing.
I did.
Did you like it?
I really could only eat the fries and the spicy
Oh.
ketchup, but they were good.
Boom!
that doesn't.
That doesn't.
what?
Wow, the fries.
I've had
Excellent.
50% of that combo that she just
Look, but
mentioned
I
already.
promise you, the French fries are gonna be so good.
Cinnamon rolls,
Oh my!
those are good.
I know.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Anyway,
We also are. The last day we're there, I really want to take him down to Galveston
Oh yeah.
and go to. It's kind of like a boardwalk. It's called Pleasure Pier, and it's over the water. I know.
I'm taking him to Pleasure Pier, baby.
I know. It sounds so gross.
Won't be the first time she's taken me there.
Stop.
I didn't want that. I didn't mean for that
Disgusting.
to happen. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I really want to go there, and I'm gonna have him meet some of my friends.
From high school?
Yeah.
That's great.
My friend Maddie and her boyfriend Cameron. I've known Cameron since kindergarten.
The dawn of time.
I love him, and I love Maddie so much. She's part of my core girl group.
My gal pals.
Yeah, we're the Illuminatis. That used to be that used to be our group chat name in high school.
That hurts.
What?
Hey, can we start a group chat with something just as dumb as that?
Whoa!
Oh, no, I'm kidding.
They're just the greatest, and I'm so excited. I literally all summer, all I did was talk about how great Mitchell is to them, and they're super excited to meet him. He's already met my parents. And
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be
Your
staying
dad
at my
gave
place.
him a big Chungus cigar.
That's fact.
He did. That is very true.
Haven't smoked it yet. Haven't had the right opportunity, honestly. Though.
Or were you?
That's
Because
true.
you were talking to me about that.
It's
Yeah.
mint flavored.
It is mint flavored.
I love a mint flavored cigar.
Mhm. He's gonna meet my brother for the first time.
Oh wow, you meet the brother?
Yeah.
He's gonna meet my pride and joy, my baby girl Star, who will be 15
Is
in
this
March.
a pupper or?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like
She's
I was
a
like,
beagle.
wait.
A
She's
child?
so
A
cute.
child.
She will love me.
She will.
She will adore
She
me.
is literally me in a dog form.
wow.
She's like,
She took a lot after you.
oh yeah, she looks like me.
When I hatched her, she really.
I am dating Star.
Whoa.
She's the most sassiest grandma dog I've ever met.
Dude,
It's
old
crazy.
dogs are almost better than new dogs because it's just like you
Nah,
don't know what
false.
they're gonna do because they give no shits.
She really does not. She
Some
looks
like
at me
really
after.
can't control their intestines, so
Oh, she's pretty good at that.
Happens to the best of us.
She looks at me when I come home because obviously it'll
Yeah.
just be like for spurts at a time, like
Yeah.
a couple weeks. But I'm gone for most of the year, and whenever I come home, she just looks at me. She goes, "Oh, it's you," and she turns around, but she doesn't like want to cuddle with me
Isn't it
until
like a day
night.
before she even acknowledges you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
What a
because she's
bitch.
so
Like a petty
angry at
bitch.
me. Yeah, she's so petty.
I
but
mean I
then
can't
she's like,
blame her.
no, of course. But then at night, she's like, okay, I know who you are now, and wants to come cuddle with me in my bed.
All right, come here, sis. Give me some sugar. Come here.
He's gonna meet my grandparents.
Wow, dude, you're getting the whole full treatment.
Getting the
I mean, she's
works.
met like basically all of my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've met
think
everybody.
like almost every member of my family that is local except for Texas family, or no, except for Colorado family because
Tejas.
you met Texas family.
I have.
She's met almost everyone. So
Good God, dudes. That's great.
I don't know. I think we have to think more. I don't know if I want to go to the beach in Galveston or we could go to Schlitterbahn. It's a water park.
Schlitterbahn.
Ooh.
Do you like water parks?
Yes.
Do you
They
like-
have the cool water slides, right? With the
Yeah.
floors
Do you
fall
like
out from underneath
big
you.
water slide?
Oh fuck yeah, we're doing
If
that.
they're open, because spring break down there is the week before we go.
They'll be open.
Do you like big
I'm
Schlitterbahn?
speaking it into
Someone
existence.
poops in the pool.
That's
Oh,
true.
no.
Unless someone does, that's a very good point, Maria.
I hope someone
you.
poops in the pool.
I also want to
dude,
take him to this really big mall in Houston. It's called the Galleria.
The
it's
beach
like
and the mall?
you mean? Let's go to
Let's
the
go
beach.
to the beach.
Let's go to the
mall.
All right, so what I want to hear is that what would be a fun episode of this show is we all recount how our spring breaks went.
Oh my god.
That'd be fun.
Spring
Yes.
breakdown.
Oh my god. Oh my god. One of
Taylor?
the biggest
Fuck
things that we're
Taylor.
gonna
Taylor?
do. Sorry, I hit the mic.
It's okay. Smacking around.
A fitness YouTuber that we both watch.
Oh, I'm super excited for
Christian
this.
Guzman is from Houston,
Very
Texas.
familiar.
I am.
He owns Alpha Elite Gym, and it's about 20 minutes from my house, and we're gonna go work out there on a
You
day
know all
pass.
that Alpha Elite clothing I wear?
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah,
He's the guy.
He's the guy, and he owns a gym. And also another
wasn't
big
shitting.
fitness YouTuber that I follow, Max Tuning, just moved to Houston, and so we're gonna go work out at that gym.
Hot damn.
Yeah, super excited. I see people on my Snapchat, on my Instagram stories that like work out there regularly. That I know from high
I'm so
school.
jealous.
This girl that one of my friends
It's got to
dated
be
in high
super
school
expensive
is
to
a
work
model.
out there.
No, it's only $10 for a day pass, and then for A month, I think it's only $50.
Hot darn,
Yeah.
cats.
They also sell
There's
his like clothing there.
His stuff there.
Yeah, and it's a really nice gym. It's really big. I'm super excited to go.
That'll be fun for you guys. And
Very excited.
We're also gonna eat our way through the state.
That's true.
We're gonna go get Mexican
We're gonna get
food.
some Mexican food. We're gonna get some really good Texas barbecue. We're gonna get Whataburger probably at least 3 or 4 times.
if you like.
Honey
We're
butter
gonna get-
chicken biscuit.
We're gonna get Shake Shack.
I've
we're
never
go-
had Shake Shack. I'm
We're
super
gonna get a
excited.
bunch
Well,
of
you
shit.
would have had it here at the Nebraska Union. However, they found asbestos in the walls, so
No,
it's not
that's
open
steak
yet.
and
Steak and
Shake.
Shake, very
Oh.
different. Steak and Shake, bad.
Sorry,
Shake
guys.
Shack's
I
good.
don't know everything. Should have
And-
Knows
played.
very few things,
And he
as
wants
we've learned from
to
today.
Also go to In-N-Out.
Oh, I do want to go to In-N-Out.
I'm not the biggest fan of In-N-Out.
We're gonna
I
try
thought
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out was only in California.
No.
They've expanded.
No,
There's some in Houston.
Yeah.
Pieces of
Um,
info.
Why does he host a podcast? One will never know.
That's why he has guests.
To help inform me. Mitchell
Yes.
and Maria,
And
what are you doing on your next trip?
February 2nd.
Get ready,
Next
baby.
week.
like in less than 14 days.
So here's what's happening. 1 week from
Friday.
Us 3 plus Dana plus
Ryan.
Plus
Ryan, now he's in it.
Ryan. You have to go now.
Ryan, if you listen to this and
You don't,
don't
go.
go.
Pussy.
Oh,
she said it, not me.
we are getting in my Ford something. I don't really know.
Is it a Ford?
I think so. It's really
It's
sad.
Chevy
I
truck
don't
month,
think so.
I think it's a
Chevy
Ford.
drug month.
I don't think it's a
Listen,
Ford.
this is not. Oh no, it's a Kia.
Oh
It's
my
a
God.
Kia Sportage.
Doesn't even know what car he owns.
It's an
I drive
07
a Ford.
It's an 07
Fiona.
Kia
Fiona.
Sportage. Anyway, we are traveling across this state, and we're going to
Denver, Colorado.
see.
A band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Called Half Alive.
They have a total of.
five songs
songs.
as
Are you
of 3
serious?
days ago.
Yeah, they were just releasing
They're
a
a
new
new
song.
band.
It's
Yeah,
hot.
they're really good.
Oh, they only have
So-
5 songs? Wait. They only have 5 songs?
Yes, they're
Released
new.
to the
They're-
public.
Is it going to be like a 30-minute concert?
I
No, no,
think
no.
they're gonna.
I told Maria was worried about it today, and I was like, "No, listen,
Girl.
Are there going to be
Listen.
other people there?
At the
Well,
concert?
just
no,
us five.
just a private show,
No,
baby.
like other artists.
no.
No.
I don't think so.
Oh.
Nobody's opening for them, right?
It'll probably be a shorter concert,
I mean,
but maybe not. It won't be like a half hour. Probably be like
Yeah,
an hour and a
no.
half.
Mitchell, are you going to the concert?
I'm gonna try.
Okay, so Maria, tell them about how this whole thing came together. Start back
So-
at the beginning.
back at the beginning. So
Back at the beginning.
back at the bit. So I followed all of the band members on Instagram. As
This
you
is not how
do.
this starts. This is not how this story starts.
Okay, I was in the car.
Thank you.
And Parker showed this song to us, and I thought it was a banger. so I put
Changed
it on
their
my
lives.
playlist. He changed my life, yes. And I show it to everyone now. And so I watched the music video, really great music video. I followed all the band members on Instagram, as you do when you're trying to get them to notice you. Has not worked
course.
yet. I will update you. But I was looking at their Instagram story. They said that they were selling tickets. They said
And you said to what?
to a concert that they're performing at in Denver, which is close by. I looked at the price,
Semi?
$15. Parker's mad that all the fees made it end up being
like
$20.
She was like $15 to go to this concert. I'm like, I'm in. And then
And then there's tax.
It was like
you know,
$22.
and fees, so $21.
did I Venmo you, by the way?
Yes, you
I
did.
did.
You
Thank
did do that. And so we're going, and then my
was-
best friend roommate Dana's going,
And it was just the 3 of us for a hot sack.
but we knew we wanted to invite other people. We were just like, who?
I knew that Big Daddy across the table, I knew I wanted him, and I was like, well, let's see if Taylor can go. Taylor can't go,
I have an audition.
which we're very proud of you for. We
Which
can't
is
wait to
very
hear how it
important,
goes.
Nebraska
yes.
Shakespeare. Wish me luck,
Mas
boys and girls.
importante.
Thank you.
We were like, Mitchell, you want to come on this trip, baby?
Is
And
that
then
exactly
Maria
how you
started
asked?
talking about her poetry video thing, and I'm like,
I do. I have to record a video for my voice class about a poem that I was assigned.
we're not recording a video. We're creating a
Content.
visual supplement
Oh my God.
to your
Ooh,
poem. That's
yeah.
a very big
So
difference.
here's
Exactly.
So there's a lot of things happening on this trip,
Yes.
pals. All right, we're
We're
number
Pals,
one.
drink.
Overbooking
Everyone finish your drink.
Oh, pals being pals. Drink.
Being pals. Oh my god. Wait, we have to finish it?
No,
Okay.
don't listen to him.
Alcohol.
I would have burped.
A drunk pals would be an interesting concept.
That's going to happen
Can
at
we
some
please
point.
do it?
No.
We'll do tequila shots.
We're not 21,
God.
Taylor.
Taylor's obsessed with tequila shots now.
Tequila is my drink of choice.
Ever
I
since
swear
the
to
other
God.
night
moving
when she
on.
did like 7.
But I woke up feeling better than ever.
Stop.
That is true. I was impressed.
This is
So-
the time travel episode. We're 21.
Oh.
Thank you. Continue.
That's great. Let's do that.
Is that bad that I said that?
No, I don't care.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Do you know? So next Friday, we're leaving this biddy. We're leaving the town of Lincoln at like close to 7 a.m.
That
around.
was planned just now.
No.
in
No,
Parker's
No,
head.
that was
Good.
definitely planned. Like,
Yeah.
I talked to Parker about it. He
Wow.
seemed on board. So the fact that really that information
5.
did not
That's
get
majority.
I'm
relayed.
disappointed.
2 out of 5. That's majority.
So you're skipping class? Yes? Question mark.
It's oh,
It's a resuscitation.
resuscitation. Recitation.
Resuscitation. You got to resuscitate your brain.
True.
Yep. Okay, I'll skip it. I guess. Alrighty.
So we're leaving this town very early, semi-early.
That is really early.
Okay, 7 is early. You can say early. That's not semi-early. What is early then? 5?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dad.
God.
Dude, I got on the speech bus at 4:30 a.m. every Saturday to go to all sorts of meets. That was
Ew.
that was painful. Anyway,
Ugh.
we are then heading to ye old Ogallala
Fact.
because Mama Shelley, who is the number 1 fan of this show,
Does
doesn't.
she listen?
Oh God,
Oh, no.
no, dude, she loves it. Because here's the deal. Mitchell can attest. Her and I, exactly the same.
Fact.
We cuss this amount. We talk to each other just like this.
Oh.
It's awesome. Her
Hey,
and I
Mama
have a
Shelley.
wonderful relationship.
I can't wait for her to...
See
Critique
these
this.
cats. So she doesn't work on Fridays, and she's like, "Well, if you're driving through, you should like stop and have dinner or lunch." And I was like, "Okay, fine.
That's going to be a lunch. Taco Jan's. Can we do Taco Jan's?
I want to take you to
my
open range."
God.
But Taco Jan's
Both
is
of these
cheap.
places sound so underwhelming.
No, open range has been listed on like several.
Taco Jan's, not Taco John's.
Bro, Taco
Jan's.
Jan's. Let me
All right,
tell you
I
the
don't
story
want
of
this
Taco Jan's.
copyright.
I want to tell the story.
No, it's a good
I want to
story.
tell the story because I bet money that I like Taco Jan's more than you like Taco Jan's.
Are you? What story are you
Those
going
are
to tell?
fighting words.
I was
How
going to tell the one
became
how it
Taco?
became Taco
Nebraska
Jan's.
Go
boys.
for it, baby.
So it used to be a Taco John's. Okay, it used to be a Taco John's, and the Taco John's franchisee was this lady named Jan. Anyway, Taco
This is kind of a sad
John's
story.
it closes, right? But she's not ready to let go. Okay?
Because they wanted them to re-up their franchise, which would have, and they just did it 2 years ago, and it would have
Right.
cost them thousands.
it would have it would have been so
It would have put them under.
she closes the Taco John's, opens up her own spot. And she calls it Taco Jan's. Taco John's gets mad at first. Sues.
Oh my.
She wins and gets to keep it as Taco
was
Jan's.
Argument.
Kind of. That's pretty. It's a better story.
Didn't she die? Is that why it's Taco Jan's?
So after they sued, they had to just call it Jan's. They had to take the name Taco out of it. Jan falls ill. She had surgery here in Lincoln. She had cancer. They were trying to take tumors out. And unfortunately, she passed away. She was fairly old. Okay, so it wasn't like shocking or anything. They thought that it was going to be like fine, like it was a normal kind of surgery. She didn't make it. So then it became Taco Jan. Like for some reason, Taco John's was like, cool. We're settled here. So now it's literally called Taco
It's called
Jan's.
Taco Jan's. And they have, when Parker and I went there, when we went to Ogallala, because I helped him like get all his stuff and helped him move in.
God bless you
They
again.
have like, listen, if anyone like has Parker as a friend on Snapchat, you know. You know. I don't even need to explain.
You know the journey that we went through.
that we went on. I swear to God, we packed up an entire basement's worth of stuff into a
Ford pickup.
compact pickup truck. And it was the most impressive thing I think I've ever done. Like
True,
all
dude.
my film accomplishments,
Nothing.
all my high school journalism awards, all that shit, nothing will ever amount to the way that we packed. What are you doing?
Tell the audience what you're doing.
So something that I like to do when specifically men are out here, doing their thing, talking about themselves, little braggy brag. I like to start with my hands
Listen.
touching, and then I continuously spread them further and further until they tell me when. And then that
When
indicates
what, Maria?
how big their penis is.
What I was trying
I
to
can attest that
explain.
it's pretty big.
Taylor.
Stop.
You are a fucking legend, Taylor.
Thank you.
No, what I was trying to explain is that none of the accomplishments that I have received
worst.
will even come close to amounting to what we did in that drug. Anyway, my point being is that we were in Ogallala.
We're going to Taco
And we went to
Jan's.
Taco Jan's, and they have these really good like potato tacos.
Potato
and they
Olays.
also have
Fucking
they also
Midwest.
have French fries. And I got it all, and I ate it all, and I was fucking satisfied.
That sounds
Taco Jan's,
listen,
most
motherfucker.
Midwest
Actually
taco
thoroughly
place I've ever heard of.
Convinced me to go. Like, that's a great story.
We can go there.
Genuinely. I have
Open
to
Range
go.
has been listed on like the top 10.
Sounds like Cracker
restaurants.
Barrel. I don't know.
I literally don't give a fuck.
It's like it's been listed on the top 10 restaurants in Nebraska.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna say in Ogallala, and I was like,
Oh, there
oh,
are 8.
There are 10.
They had to make up the last two.
My grandma's kitchen on 43rd and 7th.
Open Range is
Holy
number 1
shit.
and Taco Jan's is number 2.
In the
And there
nation.
isn't anymore.
and then there's 8 McDonald's on the list.
Our
Jesus
McDonald's,
Christ.
Ogalla's McDonald's is like one of the busiest McDonald's on I-80. I shit you not.
I believe it
well,
actually.
goddamn.
Because they're like,
Will you
Ogallala,
will you
let's stop
stop?
here for
I'm
McDonald's.
sorry.
So yeah, we're going on this trip. We're going to Ogallala. Then we're going.
To Colorado.
Yes.
Denver.
And so that night we're just hanging out.
I have a friend there.
Yes. Maybe we'll go.
We've been friends since 4th grade. It's really meaningful to me.
We talked about going to 16th Street Mall today. We could maybe do that night
Let's
or
go to the
Saturday.
beach each. Let's go to the mall.
Yes.
So Saturday is Saturday night's the concert.
Yes.
And then we're-
well, don't forget about the barbecue at 6 at
my
the
God,
venue,
how
and
could I
then the concert
forget?
starting at 8.
Whoa!
There's a
Yeah.
barbecue.
This venue.
Whoa!
Yes.
There's a barbecue.
Not for us.
When I bought the tickets, it said BBQ at 6.
Are we invited
Come
to
hungry.
that? We get to go to the barbecue?
Yes.
I'm trying to hit the barbecue.
This
what
is
if I can
not
hit the
a country
Dude,
band. This is an
what the
indie
fuck?
band. I don't know why.
Can I
there's a
just
barbecue.
I'm going to
After
this
my
barbecue.
audition.
I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
Here's
Okay?
my 20
Ticket or
bucks.
no ticket. I'll pay to go to the damn barbecue if
Listen,
I can't get into the concert.
I'm
Can I
hot
come
and-
after my audition?
When's your audition?
Is that 2?
No,
Uber.
you
No.
won't make it.
Okay.
I am hot and heavy now thinking about the fact that I'm going to eat barbecue and then see this band.
No,
I'm
it's
so
a
upset.
barbecue, not eat barbecue. That
That's
means
a
it could be like burgers,
BBQ.
hot dogs, potato
I'm
chips.
gonna bring my own like
potato salad,
dogs, like,
potato
baked
salad.
beans.
You're like, here, cook these
Baked
for me.
beans.
Please, I brought
corn on the
them.
cob,
I'm a baked bean.
bacon wrap jalapenos.
Jesus, Taylor.
Did you just say you were a
Greens,
baked bean?
beans, potatoes,
You
tomatoes.
my sweet little baked bean.
Thank you.
So, you were worried that no one would get it. Potatoes, tomatoes.
A reprise of what I just
Green
sang.
beans, potatoes, tomatoes.
I love it.
Another revival.
And then it goes the trap. There's like the trap beat on the.
You
Like,
need.
Parker, I have a question.
hold on, I'm not done with this story.
No one cares.
So then Sunday,
He goes right back.
Sunday we're going up to the mountains to shoot the video, right? And
Wait,
then we're
I
going
thought
home.
we were
were
doing
going
that Saturday during the day. I mean, we could do both.
morning.
We could do a 2-day
Saturday
shoot.
morning, like during the day.
I think it'd be less
Maybe-
stressful to like have 2 days that we know we can like film.
Yes,
so we're
let's
not
do
like
that.
we have to do another day before the barbecue.
Because I think
know?
we should plan on leaving like Sunday around like 2 or 3. That way we get back in at like.
Oh,
We'll see.
Or is that later than you were thinking?
That was
That's
earlier
earlier
than
than
I
I
was
was
expecting.
thinking.
I was expecting to roll back into
I
Lincoln
don't
at
have,
like
we don't have
12.
class until like 11:30
that
on
would
Monday.
put us back in Lincoln at 12. If we left at 3, yes, it would.
It's an 8-hour drive.
It's
Exactly.
not.
To
The way I
Denver, no,
drive,
it's not.
You're insane.
Yeah.
It's like 6.
What are you saying? What?
8 with like stops and stuff.
It's 3.5 from here to Ogallala, and from Ogallala to Denver, it's 3 hours.
I'm gonna be the fact checker. I'm gonna map it right now.
It's
Just
time
let
to
me
play
put a
that
sig-
game.
Maybe I'm tripping, but
Check
I was.
that Google.
But it
Denver,
always-
Colorado.
It always takes us 8 out. Well,
It's
okay.
6
eight
hours
'cause you,
and
like,
35
stop.
minutes away from Lincoln, Nebraska right now. But
we
with stops,
stop.
it's gonna be about 8 hours.
yeah.
But I'm
So
fucking
it-
right, is what I'm saying.
So if you leave around 2 or 3, you're gonna get back at midnight for sure.
That's
No, that's
Case
9. That's
closed.
9 o'clock.
yeah, that's bad.
You're
math.
right. I don't know how to do math. Never mind. Don't ever
10,
have me.
Okay, so we'll
11.
leave
On
at
this
like 5 or
podcast.
6.
That's what I'm saying. I don't, because like,
Oh, okay. Then we have all
we can
sorts
have
of fucking
dinner
time.
in Denver.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna.
because we
yeah.
can switch
We don't
off
need
drivers
no,
and take a nap and then wake up and shit like that.
Hell
dude.
yeah. Okay, big bet.
Big bet, Dad.
So
Big
I'm glad
Chungus.
we're formulating our itinerary on the podcast.
Taylor, you had a question, and I rudely interrupted you.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should just have all three of us on the podcast every single time because this is the best.
This is the
Ever.
longest podcast.
It's not.
Not the
It's
longest.
not?
Episode 2.
This
do
isn't
you
even
remember?
I've
Well,
like
this is the
dabbled
most
into
This isn't
vortex.
even the longest episode I've been on, let alone.
Oh my, you've been on.
All right, for the
Two hours?
listeners, Taylor at one point towards the beginning of the show literally wrote on a piece of paper, "We are the best combo on this podcast for sure." in
Listen, all
caps.
the viewers already know that because I posted it on Insta Story.
Wow. And then she says, "MKF, Maria and Parker, 122.19."
Boom. Get it
And then
tattooed
your
on your
name.
body.
It's already there.
Good.
Okay. So that's our upcoming trip, and I'm fairly excited for
I'm
it.
very excited. I don't know why you had to say fairly. I'm really
I'm very excited. I've never
I just wanna see the goddamn mountains again.
Little sentimental.
Hit it.
I'm really excited personally because I've never done like a friend road trip. You know, like every road trip I've ever been on has
Yeah.
always been with my family.
Yeah.
I've never done like a just friends road trip that's like longer than 3 hours. Like
It's
I went
cash.
to Okoboji with my roommates last year, but that's only like 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's
Doesn't
not like
count.
a road trip.
That
but
ain't
this is like
shit.
honest to God like road trip, and I've never done a friend road trip. I never did like a senior trip in high school or anything like that, so I'm really
And
excited.
we just became friends like 3 months ago.
Who cares, bro? Hey. Dude, it doesn't matter. Like, this is what I always tell not only others, but like myself is like, time does not matter when it comes to friendships. Like, Mitchell and I, you and I, you're definitely, I've told you this before, my closest friend. You know so much about me. You're like my best friend in the whole world. And you and I have only known each other for like
a little over a year.
a little over a year?
Yeah.
How fucking ridiculous is that? So, like, time does not matter.
No.
No.
Fact.
I mean, like in high school, like your pool of people was like so small. So you kind
Imagine
of like
what I was-
made
yeah.
do. College, there's 20,000 people, and I chose these 3 people at this table with me. I mean, there's
Wow.
more. I'm not the.
Nope, just us.
But that means something.
I'm telling
I
you
think
guys.
so.
College
And I feel like
is
you
great.
changed so much, like from high school to college. Like the people who I was really close with in high school were like lots of like sports people, right? Because that was what I did in high school
Cannot
for
relate, but
2.5
yes.
years, and that was a huge part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I got to college, I was surrounded by people who had the same interests and stuff like that. Don't judge my sports.
Hey, don't judge his sports.
I don't
know.
judge
I'm-
sports.
I'm
She's
calling
If you
judging
want to talk
me.
to my client, you need to come through
I'm
me
calling
first.
Parker out for literally just like autographing, like whenever Mitchell's talking.
It's just a doodle. I'm just doodling with my
So you're not paying
signature.
attention to what my client has to
He
say.
was talking about how his best friends in high school were all in sports because that was a huge part of his life.
Thank you.
That's correct. And now it's like completely flipped, and there's a reason why I talk to like, I think literally one person from high school, maybe 2. Now,
Your roommates are from your high school. 3?
besides them,
Oh, okay.
Is it weird
like
that,
other than them.
do you find yourself hanging out or talking with people in high school that you weren't really close with in high school?
Are you saying like people
goes to
I've
everybody.
run into?
Or just hung out with in general? Like, is that something that you guys have happened?
I feel like I would have. Okay, I feel like if I would have been the person I am now in high school, I would have been like into theater stuff.
Yeah.
And like been a part of that whole world, you know. Because I was very into near the end of high school. I was very into. We had this thing at our high school called WTV,
Oh, yeah, you
which
were into
was
that.
the video production and like journalism thing at Westside, and I was really into that. But I feel like if I would have been like in high school for 2.5 years, I was like sports Mitchell. That was my life. And then like near the end, I transitioned. But like if college, like artsy Mitchell would have been in high school,
Different.
I don't
Jekyll
even
and
know what would have
Hyde.
happened. Different friend group completely. I
Because-
guarantee you.
Like, there's people from my high school that I'll hang out with on the weekends that I would not have like considered really close friends in high school.
Are you talking about now?
Yeah.
I'm not from here. So
You're like, fuck no.
the only friends I have are the ones in the theater and film school.
We do what we can.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you find yourself hanging out
I
with people?
was still gonna talk.
Oh shit! Sorry, dude.
Is this just the episode where you interrupt Taylor?
So moving on. What were you gonna say?
I was
Do you
gonna
think that you would though? Do you see yourself as like a different person?
Oh no, I've been like this for my
Amazing.
entire existence. I've always been pretty true to myself. which I find to be a good thing.
That's admirable.
Even in high school, I was like this, and a lot of people didn't like me because I was the weird theater girl.
Fuck
but the
that.
friends that I did have, I'm still friends with today, and they're
Good.
like, they're going to be bridesmaids at my wedding. Like, I'm going to be bridesmaids at their wedding one day, and it's going to be amazing. You know, we're friends for life. My friend Maddie, love her. My other friend Maddie, love her. Kat, love her. Karina.
Call them out,
Love
man.
her.
Plug their socials.
Oh my god. I'm going to tell them about this and they're going to listen to it
Dude,
and they're
please,
going to like
let's
cry.
let's
when
get those listeners.
Yeah, right? No. Yeah, I think I'm really lucky with the friends that I have here and I'm really happy to be here. And I'm
Well-
glad I like made the jump to go somewhere completely different
I think,
and surround myself with people that are interested in the same things that I want to do.
and it's weird, like, it's that constant thing is like, you could have easily not gone here. And
Yeah.
Mitchell could have easily gone to Savannah. I don't know where you were going to go.
That would have been
Maria.
Oh.
But, like, it's weird that it's all those decisions
Yeah.
that had to be made on every single end.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, and, like, we wouldn't be sitting here.
And like you were talking about earlier, that time doesn't really matter. Like friendships, like how you're saying that you and Mitchell have only been friends for over a year.
And I love him. I love him.
Yeah.
But like I feel the same way, you know,
It's wild.
with you guys and with Mitchell.
It's getting to that
It all
night.
kind of just happened one day. And are you?
Yeah.
Am I embarrassing you?
It's getting that time of the night where I'm
I'm
going
so
to start getting
sorry.
emotional.
You know what?
I never said
Whatever.
you were embarrassing me.
Why
I just
are
think it's
you-
funny. Like, almost, and I feel like every story has ended with, and then there's Mitchell.
Well, because you're a big part of my life, and you've
Fuck off,
influenced me so
Mitchell.
much in such a positive way. You know what?
I love you.
Maria, do you find
I
yourself
love
hanging
you
out with
too.
people that you didn't really hang out with in high school? Answer.
I'll let them have their moment. All right.
A respectful.
So my answer, so like in high school, I just feel like there was just like a huge chunk of the population that did not know. A huge chungus
do it.
that like didn't know who I was. And then I gave the graduation speech, and I know that there were like
You were
lots of people.
valedictorian?
Yes, I know that there were lots of people who were like, "Who is this?"
You were the valedictorian.
Damn,
Yes.
you smart.
I did not know that.
That I
we
was
are
not.
She doesn't talk about it.
worthy to be in your presence.
You know, you are. I'm really stupid. But like ever since I went to college, and got that Twitter clout, got that at Maria Smal
clout.
underscore, got that Instagram aesthetic. People just like kind of been following me from high school. People
they
They
try
want
to
to be your friend now.
They want to be my friend now. I was at like a New Year's party. And
Oh,
this,
you told me about this.
and this guy, literally in this friend group, who would literally probably spit in my direction in high school. Not like actually, but like I bet you they did not even like know my name. He was talking to me the whole time, and he was like, "Why did we party in high school?" I was like,
Ew.
"Because you never spoke to me."
Because you
And I was just like roasting him the whole time, and then he tried to kiss me, and
At midnight?
and I was like, "Ah." So, and all he talked about was getting drunk at high school football games. And how he
Ew.
like snuck by the breathalyzer, and
Totally,
he was
bro.
like trying to like show off to me as if
There
I
was a
thought that was
breathalyzer
cute.
at your high
We
school
had
games?
breathalyzers at
Because our
ours.
painters like literally like always were drunk.
Painters?
Yeah, they like
Chest paint, bro.
Oh.
chest paint for like the senior football players. Yeah, it
That's
was
crazy. Even I've never heard of that at my high school
We
football
didn't
games.
do
That's
that.
crazy.
It was their peak. And I was just having to sit there, and people like coming up to me at New Year's, be like, "Oh my God, Maria! Like, I just like, I never talked to you in high school, but like, seriously, like, I just can't believe that you're so good at singing, and like, I just wish I could sing like you. Like, I was always so jealous of like all you. I was like, oh my God,
You have fans.
get
Cute.
back
Right.
at Maria Smal underscore on Twitter.
Jesus. Get back, but come here. Bring
Yes.
that ass here.
My brand must transcend.
Mitchell, it's your time to ask a question. Or you don't have to, or you can.
Well, my question was gonna be like, what trips
Did
are
I
you
st-
looking forward to?
Oh, I stole it.
Oh.
So I guess kind of stole it a little bit.
Can you think of one on the spot?
You don't have to. You can do what you want. Big chunky.
I guess I'll ask an easy one because I feel like we're getting near the end.
We're getting near.
We're getting
Do you
near
like
the end.
traveling?
So I'll ask an easy one that doesn't require a lot of elaboration. What is one place in
good
the
job.
world
I like
that
this. Uh-huh.
you guys want to travel, and for what reason?
Ooh, I'm ready.
Go.
Fiji.
Why?
For what reason?
I love the beach. Let's go to the mall.
Mm-hmm.
But also,
Love that so much.
I feel like I have always wanted a beautiful, relaxing destination vacation with Mitchell.
Always.
See what I'm
I
saying?
knew
See
since
what I'm
I
saying?
was
I see what you're
born.
saying, bro.
Every story.
I'm with you. Link in bio.
I've always wanted to go to a beautiful white sand beach. I mean, I've been to Florida, but I feel like Fiji would just be so remote and so just a
Sandals,
Kind.
Jamaica.
Yeah.
We'll take a picture. I'll be Jan, and you'll be rubbing sunscreen on me.
Gross.
I
Maria,
will
where
then
do you wanna go?
Email forward that
I
Fast.
really want to go to Paris, France, because Ratatouille is my favorite animated movie.
That's my
and
dad's
I
favorite
ju-
animated
Listen,
movie.
Dude,
Here's the
give
deal.
me his number.
Is
Not
it-
like
Nope,
that.
You
Like,
don't
so we
want
can
his
talk
number.
about
You don't want
Ratatouille.
his number.
I don't.
Maria, is
Scott.
it your favorite animated movie or is it your favorite movie of all time? Be real.
It's my favorite animated movie.
Wow.
Bet.
Yeah.
What's your favorite movie? Live action,
I'm
I
gonna
should
say
say.
it's La La Land, even though that's like
No
sometimes
judge.
people
No
like
judge.
judge me for that.
movie
but
No
slap.
judgment.
That
especially
movie,
for the
No
career I
judgment.
want to go into,
Yep.
like it just like means so much.
that
No
movie
judgment.
slapped my ass on both cheeks. It really did.
Okay, what's your favorite movie, Taylor?
Oh,
While
this
we're
is-
talking about
Cape,
it.
Cape? Oh, now I got to think of mine.
That came to my mind. It's Talladega Nights.
Fuck yes. That's a good
Final answer. What is
Final
Talladega
answer.
Nights?
What is? Okay, Parker.
Herbie fully
My
loaded.
favorite movie of all time.
Favorite movie of all time. You have to pick one. I hate when people are like, I don't have a favorite
Desert
movie.
Island movie.
Everyone
Desert
has.
Island movie.
It's not your turn.
Everyone has a favorite movie.
You locked in your fucking answer.
No, I'm saying
Everyone has a favorite movie, Parker. You included.
Dude, I just have specific memories from movies that I really like.
if you could
Favorite
bring
movie
Ever.
ever.
I can't
Go.
answer this
You
question.
can. I know you
Bitched.
can.
Because like my answer right now is going to be different than my answer
that's okay.
a year
Disagree.
ago or
What's your
tomorrow.
I've had the same favorite movie for like 3 years.
Go answer. Then.
Django Unchained. is
Django
his.
Unchained, 2012, directed by Quentin Tarantino. Absolute banger.
See,
It is
I
a pretty
can't.
It's good. It's very good.
I
yeah.
used to say that my favorite movie was The Dark Knight. The
That's
Christopher
fine.
Nolan.
That's a
but
good
that's
answer.
not my current favorite movie.
We're not talking about current. We're talking about all time.
And I don't think that would fit because I've seen so many more movies now. That
God, you're
that,
so pretentious.
Why are
that-
you are so pretentious right now?
that fucking
You are so pretentious.
You're
right now.
telling me that when I'm 6 years old and Thomas the Tank Engine goes to
Thomas the Big Chungus.
Thomas the Chungus engine.
that is my favorite movie
Thomas
of
the
all time.
Dank engine.
Stop. Let me finish. So
Hey.
you're telling me that 10 years from then I can't change what my favorite movie is?
No, but I'm saying like you can't like. I hate when people like watch a movie and they're like after like 30 minutes after seeing it they're like, oh my god, this might be my favorite movie of all time. Like that takes multiple viewings to really decide that. So if The Dark Knight is something that you would say a lot like that,
So it can't
probably
be a
it.
movie that I've only seen once.
No, I don't think so because then it's not your favorite movie.
Because
Yeah.
one of the movies
You
that
like right like
yeah.
You'd want to watch your favorite movie.
Like I've seen
seen
Django
all
at
in like
least,
a billion
at
times.
least
I
20
love
times.
Talladega
At
Nights.
least.
Talladega Nights is great. There's a movie that I saw
8
once.
pound,
You were there.
9 ounce baby Jesus.
Dear Lord,
What
baby
the fuck?
Jesus. There's a movie that I saw last year with you that thoroughly like
Blade Runner.
it spun my wheels
talking about Blade
front
Runner?
to back. Yeah, Blade Runner 2049 changed the way I looked at movies.
Have you seen it multiple times?
I've only seen it the once because I'm scared if I see it again, it'll ruin it for me.
See, then that's not you can't.
Mitchell's
you're,
so mad.
you're frustrating me.
He's at a loss for words.
Back to your original question because we jump around. The place that I want to go to is I want to go to Prague to go to the CET study abroad program. Hopefully.
Mitchell told me about that. It sounds really interesting. If
Ma-
you get the chance, you guys should totally go.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we're
Mom-
looking into it.
Mom, if you're listening, Get ready for that conversation.
Well,
Mom, if you're listening, which I don't even think you know that this podcast exists, but
Sad.
if you do somehow get to this point in the podcast, about 2 hours in,
No way.
actually probably more like
Guys,
an hour 50.
Hour 40. Do you
Hour
know how
40.
long the pre-show was?
Hour 40. Hour 40.
Hey.
If you get to this point, Mom, I haven't told you about this yet.
We're going to have a conversation.
It's not cheap, but there's
Worth
lots
it.
included. We'll have the conversation. Yeah. All right. That's not my answer, though.
sincerely,
That's not my answer.
Mitchell.
Mitchell, thank you for your question. Thank you all for your wonderful questions for
You're
this
welcome.
episode of the PALS podcast. Did you guys have a good time?
I had the best time.
How
The
so?
absolute best time.
I love talking.
And you did a damn good job.
Thank you.
I have to pull this thing up. No, I think that this mix works
Yeah.
surprisingly.
It should be permanent.
Okay.
Permanent. Wow.
You three can do it and I'll take a break. How's that sound?
Bet.
Bet.
Can we still use your space to record?
I mean, yeah. I'll probably be upstairs just like reading naked or something like that.
What a weird
Visuals.
thing to say in that
Yeah,
situation.
I don't know. The
You
jokes
could have said
really
anything.
devolved.
Like, I'll probably be upstairs, like, playing checkers by myself or something.
No,
but you
reading naked.
chose to say reading naked.
Because here's the deal. I've started doing this thing.
Where I
Where
read
you read
naked.
naked.
No, fuck you. Is like I was listening to another podcast and there were comedians talking. I know. There were these comedians.
These hoes ain't loyal, am I right?
I know, right?
Hey.
Can't listen to my own shit. It was these comedians talking about like their process of like their thinking, and they see like if a joke opportunity arises, they think of like where's the furthest I can go, like what's the absolute worst I can say.
Oh yeah.
You either A, say that
Yeah.
or you
think
go
it.
right below that.
As a comedian,
As a professional comedian,
I can attest.
Right? That's what you do. So I started doing
Shit
that.
posting on Twitter does not qualify as that.
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna start a fight. Such comedy because it's even harder because I have to appeal to the locals who don't
Ew.
understand shit
All right.
and appeal to the people who are actually funny. And it's
Me.
hard to find a perfect balance. Yes,
Thank
and
you.
I am doing really well.
But
At
I
Maria
think
Smal
that we,
underscore.
Maria, have found a great balance here today, haven't we?
Yes,
I feel bad. I called you out at the beginning. I said something mean.
you did.
Which time?
It was like when you weren't talking, and I said she only speaks when spoken to. Like I just felt like that was very bad. So
I know.
I'm gonna
I was
apologize.
going to joke
Apologize
about
on
you
air.
being a misogynist, but then I was like, "Ooh, it's his podcast." I don't.
No,
I'm
you
gonna
should.
be
You should have
out.
called him out.
Did you
100%.
see how much I cringed? I was like, I really just said that to her, and I feel so bad. So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Parker, for your birthday, you should have like a roast session on your podcast
The
for your
roast of
birthday.
Oh my
Parker
god, is
Reil.
my birthday
Yeah.
on a Thursday this year?
Ooh.
Because if it is, that means that's when the
It's in
episode.
April, right?
Yeah.
What day?
Oh no, it's a Friday.
The roast of
Aw.
Parker Reil.
I mean,
That'd
we
be
can do it
fun.
early.
We can do it right now. No, I'm
Yours is
kidding.
April 5th, right?
No, 12th.
12th.
Yours is
6.
Yep. We're like a week apart,
Mm,
but different years.
that's okay.
That's okay. We're so close.
That's okay.
So, thank you guys for coming on. Taylor, Maria, good old Mitchell. Mitchell, thank you for becoming the head content strategist of PALS.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, thank you,
Let's get it.
PALS, new and old, for joining us on this very special 7th episode of the PALS podcast. As always, remind yourselves, or at least try to, every day to just be a little bit happy, to smile a little smile, and always remember that things always will get better. I'm your host, Parker Reil, and it's been a lovely pleasure being with these people here today, and a lovely pleasure to be
Read
your
naked.
Pleasure.
Have a huge chungus.
It's been a
Good
lovely
night.
pleasure to Big Chungus.
My pleasure.
Remember that the big 10th episode is coming. We need your feedback. Remember that Taylor and I are both doing center stage very soon.
Yes, sir.
Remember that this DN article is probably up and posted.
Read that.
Thank you.
Been plugged.
And lastly,
Read that.
episode 6 is going to get
DN
fixed. I
article,
promise. I just
I
can't.
read that shit.
I just can't tell you when. It'll be soon. Okay. Thank you guys as always. We'll see you on the next one. Love you.
Love ya.
I think we just did the best.
Did was
was
it the
a
best?
wait
I
till-
can't judge from here.
Bang.